In just a moment, X minus one. But first, if you're planning to join the family for this holiday weekend, remember you have a friend who will keep you company through the long hours on the road. That friend is your car radio, and it brings you a full weekend of the most stimulating variety entertainment when you tune in to NBC's Monitor. Yes, you set your dial just once for hours and hours of refreshing variety. News as it happens, sports coverage, everything from baseball to skin diving, interviews with the stars. Plus, lots of the relaxing music you like to hear. It's all on Monitor this weekend. And now stay tuned for X minus one on NBC.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus one.
Tonight's story, A Pail of Air, by Fritz Leiber.
It was pretty quiet in the nest. Pa was just sitting by the fire, staring into it like he does these days. And Ma was asleep. That's why it was so quiet. Ma has some pretty bad times when she just screams and huddles back against the blankets that line the nest. Sis was looking at herself in the mirror that hangs next to the bookshelf. I don't know what she finds to look at so long, but then she's a girl. She just looks at herself. Saturdays, when Pa puts a couple of extra lumps of coal on the fire and we take a bath, she looks at herself in the mirror and sometimes she cries. I dropped the book I was reading, and I guess that woke Ma.
Huh? What? What?
Pick up the book, Bud.
I'm sorry, Pa.
It's come back. Hasn't it, Alfred? It's come back.
It was just Bud. He dropped his book.
Oh, but it's come back. Well, it's out there now, isn't it? I feel a lot warmer.
Now, Ethel.
It's up there in the sky. Just the way it always was. I know. I had a dream, Alfred.
I know, dear. Sis, melt your mother a cup of water.
I'm combing my hair.
Sis.
Oh, all right.
I've got to get up. I know it's there. There'll be crocuses and the spring bulbs and daffodils.
What are daffodils, Ma?
Well, Buddy, they're a flower, and they're very pretty. Yellow on a tall green stalk. Oh, I want to go out. I want to take the children out.
All right now, Ethel. Here's some water.
Come on, children. We'll all go out and you can play in the sun.
Sure, Ma.
Here, drink the water, Ma.
It's cold, Alfred. You wrap on the pipes and make that super send up some more heat.
What's a super, Pa?
It doesn't matter, Bud. There aren't any anymore.
Oh.
Pa, the pail's running low.
Bud, you better get into your things and go out and get an extra pail of air.
There are a couple of pails behind the first blankets.
Go on, get into your things.
It isn't back, is it?
No, it isn't.
There's no sun in the sky. No sun, is there?
No, Ma. What was it like?
The sun.
Sis, don't get your ma upset.
The sun was yellow. And so bright you couldn't look at it. Burning hot. So hot. But when you stretched out in it, made you feel warm all over. Tingly warm. It's been so long since I've been that warm.
I was warm last year on my birthday when Pa put all that extra coal on.
And then every morning it would come out of the east, make the clouds all pink and yellow. And the mist would rise in the ground, and then slowly everything would glow warmer, warmer. And then it would be up there in the sky, shining, warm.
Hurry up, Bud.
I'm almost ready, Pa.
I want the sun. I want the sun back. Alfred, get me the sun.
It's gone, Ethel. There's nothing I can do.
For Christmas? On my birthday?
Go ahead, Bud. Take the big pail and get it full this time. There's no sense in taking the trip for only half a bucket of air.
I spilled it the last time.
It's dark, Alfred, it's dark.
Go ahead, Bud.
Strap down the helmet, will you, sis?
For goodness sake, stand up straight.
Okay. All right, I'll be right back.
Don't hold the blankets open too long. All right, Ethel. We're all safe. Bud will be right back with another pail of air. It's all right.
I went through the 30 or so blankets that Pa hung up to slow down the air escaping from the nest. Of course, I knew the way. I've been going out for air since I was a kid. Still, I get a funny, crawly feeling every time I go out of the nest. You gotta go up to the 5th floor, which is just above the blanket of frozen air. You see, when the earth got cold, all the water in the air froze first and made a blanket about 10 feet thick or so. And then down on top of that dropped all the crystals of frozen air, making another blanket 60 or 70 feet thick. I came out of the window we use on the 5th floor and started to scoop up the air into my pail. I had it about full. Boy, my fingers are getting pretty cold when I saw something. Hey, that's a light. Oh, darn it, I kicked over the bucket. Oh, there can't be a light. Not moving around in a window like that. There can't be. Ma and Pa and Sis are back in the nest. I'm up here, and there can't be anyone else. Everybody on Earth is dead except us. I had an idea how Ma must feel sometimes, the way she sees things. But there it was, moving around in the building across the way. I stood there shaking, and I almost froze my feet. I did frost my helmet so solid on the inside I couldn't see anything. So I hurried up and scooped up another bucket of air and headed back for the nest as fast as I could. Pa, I saw something.
Go on, hang those outside clothes up by the fire.
Phew. Pa, I saw something, I did.
Your mother's quiet now. Don't upset her.
Pa, it was a light.
Wait till I get this air next to the fire. Give me the cloth, Sis.
Shall I put another lump of coal on, Pa?
No. The oxygen from this bucket will get the fire up when it begins to melt. There.
Pa, I'm trying to tell you, I saw something up there. Light.
There's lots of lights. Stars.
I know what stars look like, Dopey. They're big, steady white lights in the sky. This was down here in a building.
What is it? Alfred, what is it?
Nothing, Ethel. Now, what is this, Bud?
Well, first I thought it was a lady, a young lady. I mean it. Like in one of those old magazines. I thought I saw it in a window. But then all I saw was a light.
You watched it for some time, son?
Long enough for it to pass 5 windows and go to the next floor.
And it didn't look like stray electricity?
No, Pa, I know what that looks like.
Or a star refracted through an icicle? Sometimes if you catch it at the right angle, it...
Pa, honest, I never saw anything like it before.
All right. I'll go out with you and you show me.
No, Alfred. You can't go and leave us alone, not both of you.
It's all right. We'll be right back.
Here's your helmet, Pa.
There's something out there. I've always known there was something out there waiting to get us.
Hand me my glove.
Something that's part of the cold, hates all warmth, wants to destroy the nest. Been watching us all this time. Now it's coming after us, and it'll get you, and then it'll come for me. Oh, don't go. Alfred, please don't go.
Everything will be all right. Now, Sis.
Yes, Pa?
You come watch the fire. Keep an eye on that air, too. If it gets too low or doesn't seem to be boiling fast enough, get another bucket behind the blanket.
Alfred, don't go.
I'll take care of it, Pa. Could there really be anybody out there?
I don't see how. We heard the last radio voices a year before Bud was born. There hasn't been anything since then.
Then what could it be?
I don't know. Probably just a reflection. An ice crystal cracking. Come on, Bud. Get your helmet on.
It's funny. When I go out alone, I'm not scared or anything. But when I go out with Pa, I always hang on to his belt like I used to when I was a little kid. Habit, I guess. It's the same no matter what trip we take. On the 5th floor, we stopped to rest just before we went out. We were in the room with the frozen people. The lady sitting looking at the door. The man holding his hands over that funny metal thing Pa calls a radiator. It was like a fire, I guess, but I don't see any place for the cold. We put our helmets together so we could talk.
Catch your breath, son.
Pa, would it be possible, for any of the frozen people to come to life? Like the ones down in the basement around the furnace when we go for water?
No, they're dead. They were caught too quickly when it happened.
Oh, Pa, how do we know we're the only ones?
We don't, but, well, there's a feeling you get. Because it's always night. There used to be some of that feeling every night in the old days. But the sun chased it away every morning. You wouldn't know about that. You weren't born when the dark star pulled us away from the sun. You wouldn't know unless you'd seen the sun.
I've seen the sun. It's that big star at the end of the Big Dipper. I've seen it.
It isn't the same. Come on. We're wasting time.
I don't know what the city looked like in the old days, but now it's beautiful. The starlight lets you see it pretty well. We're up on a hill, and the plain slopes down away from us. Some taller buildings push up out of the feathery plain, topped by rounded caps of air crystals. Some of them are on a slant because a lot of the buildings are badly twisted by the quakes and everything when the dark star pulled the earth away from the sun. That's why Pa can't seal up the nest airtight. The building's twisted too bad. Besides, we have to keep the chimney open. We touched our helmets together so we could talk.
Is that where you saw it, son?
It isn't there anymore.
Uh-huh.
But it feels different. As if there's something out here, waiting.
Bud, if you see something like that again, don't tell the others.
Huh? Why not?
Well, your ma's sort of nervous these days, and we owe her all the feeling of safety we can give her. Once, it was when your sister was born, I was ready to give up and die, but your mother kept me trying. Another time, she kept the fire going a whole week all by herself when I was sick.
She couldn't do that now. Not the way she is.
But you know that game we sometimes play, tossing a ball around? Well, courage is like a ball. A person can hold it only so long, and then he's got to toss it to someone else. When it's tossed your way, you've got to catch it and hold it tight, and hope there'll be someone else to toss it to when you get tired of being brave.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come on. We'll fill up the pails and get back.
But what about whatever it is out here?
We'll just have to wait and see. Come on. Before the helmets frost over.
It's pretty hard to hide your feelings in the nest. There's just room for the four of us. The blanket overhead just touches when Pa stands up straight. The floor's all covered with thick, woolly rugs. Pa says it's inside a much bigger room, but I've never seen the real walls or ceiling. Well, anyway, Pa laughed and kidded about what I'd seen. He said I had an imagination, but we could tell he took it serious. It was Sunday morning by the clocks that Pa kept all wound up on the shelf. So it was time for the story. We all sat around in a circle the way we always do, except I noticed that Pa casually took a hammer from the shelf and put it beside him. I always liked the story. Of course, Sis and I know it by heart by now. Every Sunday since we were kids. But every once in a while, Pa surprises us by telling it a little different. or throwing in some extras. It starts out with a song. Ma used to sing it, but she forgets the words sometimes. And now Pa sings it mostly.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, thy purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
Of course, the words don't mean anything. I mean, the skies are spacious enough, but there aren't any waves of grain, and the plain is all covered with a blanket of frozen air. But it's part of the story ceremony, and Pa likes it. He says it reminds him of the old days. After the song, Pa starts the story.
In the days of my youth, the sun hung above, golden and warm, and the earth was fruitful and multiplied, and the fields were green, and the day was glorious, and the wind blew across the hilltops, and air was free and good to breathe.
That's the part of the story I like best, about how it was with the sun nice and warm. It's hard to believe, all those people living without having to worry about cold and air, never waking up sweating and screaming because you dreamed the fire went out. It's impossible to believe, but Pa was a good storyteller, and he made it seem real.
And then the dark star came rushing out of space. In the beginning, they tried to keep the news from the people, but when the floods and the earthquake started, the truth came out. At first, they thought the dark star would hit the sun, and then they were afraid it would strike the earth itself. But it didn't. It only came close.
Pa tells it like the sun and the dark star fought for the earth like two dogs over a bone. I know what he means, because I've seen a picture of a dog in a magazine. And then the dark star won and carried us off. But the sun kept the moon. There were earthquakes and floods. Pa says that mountains fell and oceans slopped over. Oceans, that's a lot of melted water lying around loose. It's hard to imagine. Pa says it was so. Then came the open question time in the story. Sis asked a question about what girls wore for clothes. And I asked Pa how people acted in those days when the earth was twisted and jerked almost apart.
Well, Bud, I was too busy to notice much. A friend of mine, Dr. Weisbrod, and Kelly, the geophysicist, and Walters, the astronomer, we knew what was going to happen. And we were working to fix up a place with airtight walls and insulation and big supplies of food and bottled air. But the place got smashed up in the earthquakes, and they were all killed. So I put the nest together at the last minute in the living room of our apartment. It's a 4-room apartment.
You must have seen some of the people, like the frozen ones downstairs.
At that time, Bud, I only thought of one thing. Your mother and survival. If I had stopped to think, I wouldn't have even tried to make the nest. It would have seemed ridiculous. Blankets and a coal fire against the cold and vacuum of space. But I didn't think. I survived.
I wasn't listening carefully as Pa went on about the building of the nest. I kept thinking about something else. About that light I'd seen outside. I kept asking myself, what if the frozen people were coming to life? What if they were like the liquid helium that crawls toward heat when it should be frozen solid? What if something were coming from the dark star to get us? Something making the frozen people move, not by themselves. That would fit with what I'd seen. A young lady's face and the moving light. I sat there and shivered, thinking of the frozen people with minds from the dark star creeping, crawling, snuffing their way, following the heat to the nest. And then, over from beyond the blankets, I thought I heard a tiny noise.
So I asked myself then, what's the use of going on? Why prolong a doomed existence of hard work and cold and loneliness? The human race is done. The earth is done. Why not give up, I asked myself.
And then I did hear the noise. Louder this time. A kind of shuffling tread coming closer.
And then I got the answer. The Earth's always been a lonely place millions of miles from the next planet. And no matter how long the human race might have lived, the end would have come some night. Those things don't matter. What matters is that life is good. There's a lovely texture, like some rich cloth or fur, or the petals of flowers, crocuses, daffodils, or the fire's glow. And that's as true for the last man as the first.
Still, those steps kept shuffling closer. Pa was talking, and Ma was dreaming with her eyes closed, and Sis was looking at herself sideways in the mirror. And I was the only one who heard the noise. A noise outside.
So right then and there, I told myself that I was going on as if we had all eternity ahead of us. I'd have children, and I'd teach them all I could. I'd get them to read books, try to enlarge and seal the nest. I'd try to keep everything beautiful and alive. I'd keep alive my feeling of wonder, even at the cold and the dark and the distant stars.
Pa, I hear.
I know.
What is it, Alfred? What is it? What's going on? Oh, you've got to tell me.
Pa, I'm scared.
Quiet. Bud, you heard it?
Uh-huh. Kind of shuffling, coming toward the nest.
Sis, take care of your mother.
It's all right, Ma. Lie down. Come on.
I'll take the hammer. You take the hatchet.
What is it, Pa? What is it?
I don't know. Listen.
It's closer.
Mush.
Pa, the blanket is moving. Ready with your axe.
Hello? Who's there? Is there somebody in there?
Come in. It's all right.
They're alive. Alive.
Who are you?
Alfred Hutchinson. Dr. Alfred Hutchinson. You can take off your helmets in here.
But the air.
We have air.
We bring it in pails.
Come on, Ralph. Let's take off the helmets.
It's impossible.
Where are you from? We thought we were the only ones.
Los Alamos.
The nuclear laboratory.
Yes, that's right. We get our power from the reactor, using the stockpile of bombs for fuel.
Then there are others. There are other men. There are other men.
Pa, is it all right? Should I put the axe down?
Yes, it's all right. You can put it down.
You mean you come from another nest?
It's a little bigger than this. We've got a small airtight city with airlocks.
We generate our electricity, food from hydroponics.
I can't believe it. I can't.
I can't believe this. It's impossible. You can't maintain an air supply without hermetic sealing. It's impossible.
Oh, no, it's simple. As long as you keep the fire going to melt the air and enough air boiling to keep the fire burning.
How did you come here? Why?
Well, we keep scouting around for survivors. There are a number of colonies, Brookhaven, Oak Ridge, and Harwell in England, and the Argonne Laboratory in France. We didn't expect to find anything in this city, though. But our detectors picked up a heat trace, so we tracked it down.
Alfred, you're forgetting your manners. We have company.
Of course. Sis, throw a handful of coal on the fire.
Pa, a whole handful?
Doesn't matter now. And Bud, bring out another pail of air.
Oh, it's incredible.
And you have laboratories and transport?
We only have a two-seater Scout, but if we rip out the bulkhead to the storage compartment, we can make it all right.
We can have you back at Los Alamos in 4 hours.
What's the matter?
I guess we really hadn't thought about it that way.
But, I wouldn't know how to act there. And besides, I haven't any clothes.
Just doesn't seem right to let this fire go out. It's been 18 years. Burning every minute.
But you can't stay here.
Ralph.
But after all...
Ralph.
Oh. Look, Dr. Hutchinson, we'll go out to the ship and bring back a small power heater. I know this is very sudden and upsetting to you. You need a chance to adjust. We'll be back in a few minutes. It's incredible. In buckets, air, buckets.
Well,
They didn't think the nest smelled so good. I could tell.
She had a wave in her hair. Did you see that? And lipstick.
I suppose we have to decide what to do.
Pa, at Los Alamos and those other places, there'll be lots of people, won't there?
Yes,
I mean, not just your father or a brother.
that's right.
Boys?
I suppose so. But somehow I feel a little empty.
Alfred, it's different now that we know others are alive. You don't have to feel the responsibility for keeping the human race going.
Pa, I'd like to see those rockets and laboratories. Wouldn't you, Pa?
I suppose so.
It won't be easy leaving the nest. I mean, it's just right, and there's only 4 of us. It's kind of a scary idea. Big place with a lot of strangers.
You'll get over that feeling, son. The trouble with the world was that it kept getting smaller and smaller till it ended with just the nest. Now it'll be good to have a real, huge world again. The way it was in the beginning.
And so we're going to leave the nest in the morning. By Pa's clocks. We've got the power heater going now. Seems funny to be this warm when it isn't Christmas or somebody's birthday. But still, it's hard for me to realize that this is the last time I'll go out of the nest, through all the blankets, to get a pail of air.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
Good morning, weirdos. How are we today? Yeah, me too. It's kind of funny, the printing on this cup, it's either for a left-handed person or they want you to read it when you drink it. What a beautiful day. Right? It's on the opposite side here. So I'll start drinking left-handed. And by the looks of the Zig Zag man, I shall give it my all to have a good day. Right. Yeah. So what's going on out there in the world? That much, huh? Well, you can keep it. I don't need the outside world. My wife is like, you want to go for a drive? I go to Dollar General and let Natalie drive a little bit. I'm like, no, I don't feel like leaving the house. I don't want to go nowhere. I get like that. I get periods of not wanting to leave the house that lasted days and weeks and months. If I could, I would probably never leave the house. If I like won the lottery, you know, then I'd be hard pressed to leave the house. I would probably find so much to do at home that I wouldn't want to leave. But then again, you win the lottery, I'd want to go on some vacation. You know what would be neat is to like live on a cruise ship for a year, right? The best room on the cruise ship, and hire your own staff, and just live on a cruise ship, right? Different people every week, different places, you know. That'd be neat. It'd be like spending a year living in New York or Los Angeles or in Telluride or something, you know. Which, you know, the way things are going, that's probably the way to live, is to just enjoy as much as possible while you can. You know? I mean, there's those places where you like go visit a giant glacier, right? And you see this giant glacier that's been there for 100,000, and they're gone. Those glaciers are gone. Those things are gone. Things that used to be around for hundreds of thousands of years are just gone. You know, ice flows, lakes, animals, entire species just gone extinct. Well, this guy's depressing. Holy hell. I changed the channel. Yeah, really, man. It's like, I saw this thing on, you know, that if the Hoover Dam were to ever break, it would flood countless cities and towns. Like, no, it wouldn't. If the dam all of a sudden collapsed, it wouldn't be by the pressure of the water. It would be an earthquake or something, or a bomb. And the backflow from the river would flood into the lake. I mean, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Hoover Dam breaks, everybody dies. Yeah, right. When the levee breaks, we'll have no place to stay. You could build a city where the lake used to be. Ridiculous. Yeah. One of the most incredible man-made structures of modern time, the Hoover Dam. And it's a parking lot. It's just a waste. It's a waste of space. It's a waste of time, energy, and money that lasted less than 100 years. Right? Pyramids are still there, probably able to do whatever it is they were supposed to do back then, right? They're probably still functioning, if we knew how to make them function. But, yeah, Hoover Dam, piece of crap. Piece of modern crap. I used to be amazed by the Hoover Dam. All of the years that it took to build it. All the people that died. The bodies that were lost within it while it was being created. At least they finished the dam. I mean, Gutzon Borglum spent decades working on the Mount Rushmore monument in South Dakota. And he died before it was finished. And it never got finished. When we go to hover cars and there is no longer that kind of transportation needed to drive around on the ground, what's going to happen to the bridges? Like the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Is it just going to become a monument? I don't know. I don't know. It'll become a big footbridge. Arg. Oh, yeah. Coffee. Coffee. I'm having fun playing with movies, old educational films. There are so many out there, and so many different subjects. I'm really trying to just pick out things that kind of have something to do with me, my life, my personality, my world. And I go through this list of things, and it's like every single thing there is some bizarre, off-the-wall educational film. But it actually means something. You know, I mean, I've got a bunch on Native Americans. I've got a bunch on Mexican American, African American, how to make films, stuff about dreaming, stuff about design and art. The school ones where we learned manners and etiquette and puberty and the things about animals and science, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy how I go out and I find these little 10, 15, 30-minute films, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that's part of me. You know, it is. It's part of me. What the hell is he talking about? Leave him alone, Harry. You don't know what's going on. He's still asleep. Guy's a nut. Yeah. Yeah. So I got into bed. I started shutting stuff down here at 9. I got it shut down. Well, I left things to cloud while I was gone. I like to upload stuff to the cloud while I'm sleeping. That way I get the most out of these computers. They're working their asses off 24/7 here. So by 10 I'm in bed. By 11 I'm drifting off to sleep, and by midnight, of course, I'm waking back up again, taking a leak and turning off the TV and dealing with dogs in and out. And I think I got up 3 times last night to take a leak. Once I got up and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? Almost 3. And Oliver's scratching at his door and he wants to go out. So I open up the door, let him go out, and both dogs just go out screaming, right? It's like, what the fuck? I realized that at nighttime, all of the rats come out. You got the cats out chasing the rats running around looking for food. And then I'm thinking, oh well, crap, it's like 90 degrees outside at night. And I'm thinking, well, there could be snakes out there too looking for rats. So I'm like, oh shit, I better call the dogs back in. So I get the dogs, and Sam just won't come in. I had to get up and go to the front door, the side door here, into the backyard, and open it up. And he's standing right there, you know. And I could tell that he was standing there because he had chased a rat over there where he was standing. Some big desert rats out here. And I want my dogs to... I want them to fear my dogs. I want my dogs to, now Tootsie, she's a killer. She's a vicious wild animal when it comes to being a predator, you know. Rats and rabbits and squirrels. The first 3 weeks she was here, she killed 3 squirrels. And they just kept coming into the backyard to steal kibble and bird food and stuff. And poor little innocent squirrels, they don't come around no more. So, yeah. It's early. Hell, got a scratch here that just is bugging the hell out of me. Get like that in the morning. I start drinking coffee, and then all of a sudden I start getting itchy and fidgety. My body starts waking up. The great part is that, you know, well, if it itches, that means if it hurts, it's getting better, right? Well, I ain't getting better. My whole body starts itching, and then my whole body hurts, and it's like, how come I ain't getting any better? Jeez. Jeez. Let's see. What was I thinking here? Yeah, I put together like the other day I had like 15 movies, and now the list has grown to 34 movies, videos, whatever, educational films, mainly educational films. Every once in a while there's a TV show in there, or a feature length, you know, an hour and a half long movie, something usually from TV or from the old days. There are a couple of feature movies here that I'm not sure that I want to try to play. One of them is called Not for Henry, and it is like a 19... not now, Henry. Not tonight, Henry. It's a 1960 stag film that's mainly just boobs, right? It's just like a boob film, you know. Any reason to get these girls out of their brasiers. And then there's one called Sex Madness from the 1938, right? Sex Madness. And it's just a sexploitation film, you know, teaching people to stay away from sex because you'll get cooties and VD and your thing will fall off and your woohoo will rot away or whatever, you know, scaring people away from sex and scaring them into celibacy, right? Fear was a strong influence. They used fear. They still use fear a lot, right? Fear mongering. That's what keeps us warring and fighting the war on terror. It's all about fear. Let me check these dogs again. Mate. Yeah. Oi, mate. All right, no wedgies. Oh, no wedgies. Oh, no spine. Oh, no spine. Oh, man, I wish I could... The kids, they're always... I just see them standing there, and then all of a sudden they just go... Every knuckle in their hands just like so easily, right? I can't do that kind of stuff. That hurts when I try to do that, right? Damn arthritis. I wish I could do it with my neck. I wish I could just go, you know, and I can't get anything to snap or pop. My chiropractor used to have hell trying to get me to adjust. I felt some of my vertebrae the other day, and I'm feeling my vertebrae, and they're like these big bone balls, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like one's way off to the side, and then another one's kind of way up, and it's like, that's not possible. Then why does it happen? Why does my chiropractor look at me and go, yeah, you got a vertebrae that's kind of inky this way, and then another one's kind of hinky this way, and we're gonna try to twist you around and get these things to line up, right? And it's because I got no muscle mass at all. When I injured my neck back in 2010, 2011, it cut off the nerves to my arms, just pinched the nerves to my arms, and as well pinched off nerves to other places. So I can work out as much as I want, but it doesn't really help me grow any more muscles, right? So no matter what I do, I'm constantly losing muscle mass. If it wasn't for fat, right, I would be skin and bones at this point. At this point, I can only get fat to hang around my belly. So I got these noodle arms and noodle legs now. He looks like a dad. He's like a marshmallow on a toothpicks. He's got dad legs. Yeah. Serious, dude. Sure dat. Oh, it's time to kill some fucking pain. Yeah. 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 So yeah, so I took this, created files in each computer, labeled August 2024, and basically I've just been creating little videos and dumping them into that. And creating means borrowing content, turning it into a little fluffy video, and uploading it onto YouTube. So I've created these files, right, with over 30, almost 40 videos ready to upload, and then along with those videos I'll create the graphic title card that I'll put on YouTube when I load it. I'll load it, and rather than use a thumbnail of the video, I'll use a graphic card, so that when you look at my videos of old movies and stuff, old educational films on YouTube, there's always a black page with white lettering, Nova, Good Against Evil, whatever the movie title is, that's what's there. It'll make it easier to look through and see what's going on and catalog them. The neat thing is that I'll just be able to, every week, grab my recorded radio shows, grab my recorded videos, organize them in my calendar, and then just upload them one at a time, 4 a day, 6, and then I'm ready for the week. And then I just create a couple of title cards for couple of title cards for each day, right? And then I post those, and then I create my video, post that, right? So it becomes pretty easy to manage uploading content. The fun part is finding it and cataloging it and curating it. At some point I'm going to go through my channel again, and I will create more playlists, right? So I'll have my movie playlist, which is just all of the movie videos, educational films, whatnot, for Movie Monday. And then I'll have them divided into sub-playlists, educational films on puberty, right? Manners and etiquette, history, social studies, right? And just divide them up into classes. And where would you have seen this movie in class, right? 1 through K through 6, right? K through 6. So then you got Cindy Goes to a Party, and Lunchroom Manners, and that kind of shit. And then, high school, social studies. You're going to watch these videos, the 2 rivers, about the 2 different aspects of living in Africa, right? The Modoc Indian tribe, Geronimo Jones, Mexican village life, right? These are all social studies and that kind of shit. So it's really neat to go back and revisit a lot of stuff that I just really wasn't paying attention to in school, you know. I just didn't give a shit. I didn't give a flying rat's ass. Looks like we got a couple of people here visiting by. I'm going to say that maybe Joey is one of them. Good morning. Hey, I was right. What's up, Joey? What's going down? Just hanging out here, drinking coffee, smoking some doobage, trying to get over being alive and awake, because some days it's kind of hard. Some days not only do I just want to turn the alarm off and go back to bed, but I just want to not get up at all again, ever. It's like, you know what, I had enough of this. Let's do something else. Can I leave my body and just kind of float around? You know, have an out-of-body experience? That'd be neat. You know, one of the things my father told me when I was really young was, of course, something that he had heard through the, you know, Native American world, was that when you're sleeping and you feel yourself starting to fall and you catch yourself, right? That's why they call it falling asleep. You know, when you fall asleep, do you fall? All right, well, that used to happen to me a lot, right? I'd feel myself falling, and I'd wake up catching myself. And he told me on a number of occasions that the Native Americans feel that when you're falling, if you allow yourself to fall, you actually leave your body and escape onto another plane, and you can actually look down on the world and travel and do what they call remote viewing and remote traveling and stuff. And so all through my childhood and growing up in my teen years, I always used to just get so frustrated when I'd be sleeping, and it'd be like, all right, man, if I start falling, I'm just going to go, man. And then I'd wake up, oh, man. I don't know how many times I came close to falling away from myself, you know? You know? Anybody have that experience? Do you when you fall asleep, do you fall? You ever fall? Do you catch yourself? Can you not catch yourself? Because, you know, that would be some heavy shit. Right? Come on. I'm trying to frustrate my comments here. Totally. It's kind of funny how far back educational films go. They actually go back to the 30s and 40s, where we would take films into classrooms to teach the kids things from abroad. Abroad? They bring abroad in there? They teach them prostitution? No, that's on Sex Education Day. But yeah, crazy stuff. The educational films from the 40s and earlier, and the things that they were teaching us as kids throughout the years is just really weird, and the amount of propaganda. There you go again, Joe, with a yeah comment. It's like, what the hell does he mean, yeah? Yeah, what? Yeah, what was I talking about 3 minutes ago? I don't know. Holy hell. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I mean, the propaganda, the stuff they used to try to force, they still, right? Only they're doing it now so that we want it, you know? They don't even need educational films anymore. They just say, here, pick up your phone and frickin' scroll. That's what they want you to learn, you know? They want you to learn that greedy capitalist, self-entitled, self-indulgent, self-rewarding, just selfish world. That's all it is. It's all about self. It says it right there, selfie. That's where the selfie generation, you know, but it's like a multi-generational thing. Yeah, that's right. See, now you're just messing with my head. Yeah, exactly. That's totally right, dude. Oh, no, it's the left. It's the left, dude. What's left? I don't know. Whatever isn't gone, that's what's left. Oh, I thought it was what's right. Shut up! Yeah. So, anybody catch my nighttime show last night? It was a lot of fun. Sorry about all the dinging, but my ash wouldn't pop out. I'll knock your ash off. I'll knock your ash off. Yeah, it's kind of surprising how slow it is out here right now. Well, I mean, not really. We're like in the grips, the throes of summer heat right now. So it's not surprising we don't have a lot of people running out here to stay. Because most weekends, every Airbnb in town is just filled. And, you know, we know that because if all 4 of the Airbnbs that we've taken care of have people staying in them, then we know that every place in town is full, right? Because ours are some of the last places to get booked because they're just so humdrum, you know. The ones at either end of the town, the one up the road here from us and the one way up by the park, those get rented more than the 2 right here in town because the 2 right here in town are really bland. They're really plain Jane houses, you know. They're like doctor's offices. They're just, you know, you want to sit there, you want to sit and read a magazine and wait for somebody to call you into the back room. I mean, that's the way you feel when you're there. So they're pretty sterile. Doesn't surprise me they don't get rented. If it were me, I would fill them full of all kinds of vintage crap, wall-to-wall vintage crap. I'd put, you know, old 70s shag carpeting in the fucking bedroom, you know. I would go all the way and just retro these fucking houses out. That would get somebody in there every fucking day. Nobody wants to listen to me. I mean, I am the idea man. You know, if you want something, you know, modified, repaired, replaced, whatever, I'm your guy. I got an awesome set of tools. And the tools I got up here are the awesomest. The awesomest. Huh? All right, Zig Zag man. Wish I had enough weed to roll a joint. I got to keep my weed intake kind of on a lower level because of the amount of work. So I've cut down by 1/3, but that just means that my pain has increased by 1/3. My stomach dysfunctionality has increased by 1/3. So the less marijuana I smoke, the more my body and mind are aware of what's going on, and they don't like it much. So yeah, I get down to where I've got, you know, a small supply left, and I really try to stretch it out, and then I wind up sleeping a lot more because I just can't deal with the pain. So I just, fuck it, I'm going to sleep, you know. And then I can just, then it's a matter of getting up and having that huge separation from the pain. So the less I smoke and the more I sleep, pretty soon my waking time is just all pain, right? And then it takes me a lot of weed to catch up and to push that pain back into a manageable place, you know. Otherwise it just takes over. It engulfs me. And I don't like it much. I don't like it. So, yeah. And then, of course, working on this air cooler thing. And, of course, it's just come down to the fact that we're going to have to get pads for it if we want it to work right. Flat out. Otherwise, it's just going to suck hot air in around the broken pad. And that's just not going to work. You know, the only other thing I could think of would be to duct tape up that side of the pad. And how long is that going to work before the water and the moisture loosen the tape, and the tape gets sucked into the fan and then gum up the works there, right? So I guess the best thing would be just for the work to increase, so that so that I could, you know, spend money on a few things around the house and do a few personal things and smoke more weed. What'd you say? Smoke more weed? Well, I don't mind if I do. I don't mind if I do at all. Cheers, buddy. Uh-oh, I can feel the wood at the bottom of this thing. Starting to get to the bottom. Means I'm gonna have to put some more in it. But this is the cheapest way I think I have for medicating, you know, are these little one-hitters, nothing wasted. I only use in here as much as I can handle, so there's nothing left over. That's it, a little bitty. Yeah. Smoke-wise, it's not as good as a bong. A bong is better because it filters through the water. Smoking through this thing a lot tends to make me cough more or get me congested at night. I'll more often wake up in the middle of the night or early in the morning coughing and gagging on phlegm. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm trying to get a donut and coffee here. So there you are. Why don't you just take some pain pills? I did that. I did that for 18 months when this first happened, and it destroyed me. It destroyed me. It led to more depression. All I did was stay in bed. I didn't do a damn thing, because of course the doctors were saying, don't do anything, just take pills and don't do anything. So stupid me, I listened to them. After 18 months of that, I said, you know what, fuck these doctors. I threw off the pills, I enrolled in college, and I went to college for 2.5 years and rehabilitated myself because they chewed up all the money giving me pills. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you surgery now, but we won't help you recover. You're on your own. You're going to have to sit at home for 10 to 12 months with no money coming in. And it's like, how's that going to work? And what's the surgery going to do for me? You're going to take my pain away? No, not at all. It might increase, in fact. But you'll have more mobility. Dude, mobility is not my fucking problem. I can do handstands. I can bend down, put my feet, my hands flat on the ground in front of me and not bend my knees, right? I've got mobility. I can turn my head. You know, it just hurts. Take the pain away. Can you do that? No, we can't do that. Well, fuck your surgery then. And fuck you're not paying for my recovery either, right? So I just went to college, you know, dealt with my own recovery. My pain didn't get any better. I was more able to manage my pain through stretching, exercise, marijuana, healthy eating, and that kind of stuff. I used to go to the chiropractor until my chiropractor retired, and it took me years to get to know him and to get used to going to him. And after he left, it was like, oh fuck, I can't get used to another asshole. You know, it took me years to get to not see him as some fucking asshole, you know, and actually see him as a friend and a mentor, you know. And once he retired and left, it was like I felt abandoned, and it's like I don't want to go to this other guy, you know. I don't want to go to some other guy. I got a hard enough trouble trusting anybody, let alone a doctor. Yeah. Frustrations. It's totally frustrating. Frustrating. Yeah, I gotta remember to put a show together for tonight before I take a nap, so that when I wake up from my nap, all I have to do is set up my show, put on my pre-show, and then I've got an hour to kill, 30 or 40 minutes to kill while my pre-show is on. Which, that's the way I do things. I put on a pre-show for about a half an hour in the mornings and in the evenings, mainly to test my live feed, because sometimes I'll start my pre-show and my live feed will be crap, and I'll have to scramble around, do a cleanup on my driver, reinstall my OBS, update something, reboot, adjust. I mean, and if I could do that within half an hour, you know, I'm live at 5. And if not, I just say, hey, fuck it. I'm having the TDs. I'm gone, baby. Some mornings, like this morning, I was hoping for TDs, right? I was hoping to get in here and for everything to just be so fucked up I couldn't get it to work, and I just have to go back to sleep. I'm going back to sleep, technical difficulties. And it wasn't like that. I got hit with an OBS update that I put off. And I thought, you know what, everything's running good right now. I'm going to put it off, because at some point I'm going to come in here in the morning or in the evening and nothing's going to work. And it'll be like, all right, where the hell's that update? Right? Let's update it now while I have to reboot and reinstall and all that shit anyway, right? So I'm going to wait till then to do that. I'm probably not going to wait until tomorrow to order some more pot, although I'll probably have to wait. I've probably got enough. Yeah, I don't have much at all. I probably got enough for today, which means tomorrow I'll be smoking some headache weed, just to try to hopefully keep my body from getting crazy on me. And yeah, morning time is the time where I deal with most of my pain. By the afternoon, I'm not smoking much, and by the evening, I'm not smoking much at all. In fact, I have to remind myself, look, take a couple of hits now before you go lay down. You know, otherwise I get in bed and I'm laying there going, oh, should have taken a couple of hits hours ago, and then I'll get up and take a hit. But then it's too close to bedtime, you know. If I get into bed and I'm sitting there looking for something to watch while I'm going to sleep, and I nod off, then I just put on anything and I just close my eyes and roll over, because I know that I'm actually going to be able to get right to sleep. I know that I'll be awake in an hour, going, geez, I gotta piss. But at least I hear the dog coming in and out of the doggy door. I'll be right back. Let me check on him. Maybe I'm just hearing things, right? Maybe I'm still in like a dream state, you know? And maybe I'm just hearing things that I always hear, and so I expect to hear them, and therefore subconsciously I hear them, right? It's kind of an hallucinatory thing, you know? Who likes words? I love words. My daughter, she's like, I don't like words. I don't like writing. You know, of course, her professors praise her for being one of the best writers in her class, right? In the couple of years that she's been around, she's the one. They pass her papers around. The professors talk about her amongst themselves, you know. So she's a writer, right? But I love words. I'm just like I'm a wordy. Like some people are foodies. I'm a wordy. You know, I don't go out of my way to search for words, but when I hear a word or see a word, I fall in love with the word. The word sticks in my head, and then I look for ways to use the words. And it used to be like, you know, I had 3 words. I got 3 special words. Where do I use them? And now it's like all of the words are special, you know, and it's hard not to use all of the special words, you know. Words. Yeah, get a thesaurus or a dictionary and just look at words, you know. Read a story and listen to the words, you know, and the way the words are arranged. It's like a dance. It's like choreography. It's like music, you know. The words are like notes. This guy's a fucking nut. What's he talking about? Is he talking about words like music? I don't get it. That guy's a kook. He's a kook. Kook, 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 kook. Yeah, buddy. Yes, sirree, buddy. Yeah, dog. So dreams. I was thinking about dreams this morning when I woke up. Actually, while I was sitting on the toilet, typing in the link to this morning's show on Facebook, I was thinking about dreams. And the dreams, I have very few dreams nowadays because I don't sleep too much. Never really been a big dreamer because 6 hours was usually my max sleep time. So every once in a while when I do have a dream now, it's like, ooh, it's a big thing. You know, I don't always remember those dreams when I wake up. Like, who does? But, you know, some of those dreams are pretty heavy the way they're connected, you know, to our everyday reality, you know. People that should be there that aren't there, and they show up in your dreams, or people you don't want show up in your dreams, or things, or events, or ideas, or, you know. I get a lot of cross-pollination between reality and TV and radio, right? Old-time radio, music, movies and TV shows and that kind of shit. So my personal life kind of intermingles with that, just like, you know, you would think of in like TV or something, you know, and somebody fantasizes about something, and, you know, and they're in the movie, you know, that's kind of like that, you know. I'm not really there, I'm not really a part of the cast or the crew, but yet it is kind of a part of my life, kind of, I don't know. What the hell's he talking about? He's losing it. Leave him alone, Harry. You don't know what he's talking about, but at least he's talking. You don't ever say a fucking thing unless you're talking about somebody else. Hey, give me a break, lady. You try working my job. Shut up, Harry. I'm sorry. That couple, man, they live next door and they're just constantly going at each other. You know, maybe if they'd have had kids, maybe if Marge and Harry had kids, they wouldn't worry so much about my fucking life. I mean, geez, people, why you gotta keep bagging on me, Harry? You know? Uh-oh. I just tore down the fourth wall.
Oh, jeez.
He looked into the camera. He acknowledged the audience. No way! All right, audience of kooks, I'm gonna warm up my café. All right, take it easy, Ace. All right. So, where was we? We was talking about dreams, the dream state, sleeping, falling asleep, entering, exiting the body and entering another plane, right? But I'm scared of flying. Shut up, it's not that kind of plane, idiot. Dude, why are you so harsh in that, dude? bag off, man. I bet to stir it up. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. So last night, actually twice yesterday, I had beef stew, leftover beef stew, homemade beef stew. Boy, can we cook. Boy, howdy. Some fantastic stuff. We didn't make biscuits this time. It was too hot to make biscuits. So I had the old all-American special. I had bread and butter. Bread and butter. Whole wheat, home-fried butter top bread. And really, really soft, real butter. I don't do that margarine shit. I don't do that stuff that's all, boiled with chemicals and then cleaned and perfumed and dyed and all that shit. No, I don't do that. I just do butter. Straight butter. Straight from the cow's ass, right? Butter. That's the healthiest way to go. I've seen all the research, My father he'd bounce back and forth. Anytime science said this, he'd follow this. If they changed their mind, wherever they were at, he would follow them. And he would just keep changing with whatever science said. Science said do this, he'd do that. Coffee bad, he'd stop coffee. Coffee good, he'd start drinking coffee, right? And it was like that. It was like, wow. I as I got older, I just decided, you know what? I'm going to stick with this. To hell with everybody else. Look, I'm doing this. This is my road. This is the road I'm on. I'll change a little bit, but you got to give me some hard fucking data. You can't just say, oh, by the way, you got to do this now, and then after that, you got to go back and do it this way because we were wrong. You shouldn't have stopped doing it this way. You should have kept doing it. And that's the way I see things, And mainly, it's to get you to buy stuff, Like, one out of every 5 doctors say that smoking cigarettes helps your nerves and calms you down and helps you to sleep, And why were cigarettes so good for us? Because they wanted to sell us cigarettes, which is why they tell us things are good for us, so that we'll buy them. It don't necessarily, the small print, these aren't necessarily good for you. In fact, they'll probably kill you and cause cancer, but they're going to say, hey, this is what you need to be happy. And we go for it, And I decided a while back, I was just not going to keep bouncing around and, being a human fucking yo-yo. Look, butter good, milk good. I'm not going to go almond milk, and I'm not going to go all this. And by the way, almond milk is killing the fucking planet. All these nut groves that we're growing, sucking up all the groundwater. You got to flood an almond grove to water these things. You have to flood an almond grove, right? Where does that water come from? It comes from the ground. You suck all the groundwater out, then what happened? You got places that all of a sudden have sinkholes. How come we got sinkholes? Because there's nothing down there anymore. We're sucking out groundwater, and these big giant open things where there used to be water filling it up are collapsing and sucking down entire fucking neighborhoods. It takes science to figure that out? No. Oh. Yeah, so, everything that we're doing right now is ass fucking backwards and wrong. Why? Capitalism and ad men, right? And the politicians that are bought off by their lobbyists. If you don't have a handle on that, then you're living in a fucking fantasy. A fantasy. Can I say that again? Fantasy. It hurts the psyche to look out in the world and see what's going on, It hurts. Hurts and smirts and furts and burts and it's pathetic. It is really, really pathetic. I mean, entire families and generations of people who do everything that they do because that's the way they're programmed to do it, right? The way they get up in the morning, their morning rituals, their daily rituals, everything that they do concerning their work and their personal life and their family life, it's all scripted. And they're all programmed mainly now by that. There used to be television and radio that programmed this, right? And now it's that little idiot box that we carry. We pay to have people get on here and program us every day, right? People don't get it. People just don't get it because they're so wrapped up in the bullshit they can't see through it. They become a part of the bullshit. They're covered in bullshit. They're a bullshit monster walking around, and they don't even know it. You know, race car driver with labels all over. You know, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Just every fucking label in the world you could put because you signed on for these labels. You're in 20 groups. You're in these chats. You liked all of these things. You've got all of this stuff coming at you, telling you that this is the way you're supposed to be, and you just fall right in line and slap those labels on, and you pay for it. You pay for the privilege of them controlling you and turning you into something that they want you to be, so that you'll consume what they want you to consume, or vote the way they want you to vote, or pray the way they want you to pray, or whatever it is. They're coming at you, and they ain't doing it for you. Look at all these things that are just for me. They're not for you, it's for them. You know, the world isn't app-based now to make our lives easier. The world is app-based to sell us more stuff a lot easier. That's fucking it. Do you not understand this, people? No, obviously not. Because we just keep on driving down the road, looking into our lap, buying shit off of Amazon. You know, why'd you get into this accident? Because I saw this really good deal and I had to get it now before the thing expired. And it was, you know, it was like I had to get my bid in. You know, people are coming up with these bullshit answers to shit, these bullshit excuses, because they're programmed to. What do you mean I can't do that? But it says right here that I'm allowed to do that. Well, you're an idiot. You know, we got more lawbreakers out there now because people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're not taught anymore how to coexist peacefully in society with everyone. They're taught to take care of themselves, you know, and to create the best selfie photos, you know, and you know, taught all of these app-based things. And they get out into the real world and they just suck as humans. The fucking smartphone should have been the thing to save humanity, and it's wiping us the fuck out. Now they can destroy the planet on a giant level now than before. It's happening so much faster now. Why? Because they can do it faster. You know, they can get to us easier, manipulate us into thinking that everything is just fine, and it ain't. And nobody wants to wake up and see what's going on. Why did he tell me to wake up? People hate that. Why does he say wake up? You wake up. What are you, woke? No, I'm just you know, able to see reality through the bullshit. You know, and the reality is the thing that people don't want to look at. You know, they want to cancel it out. They want to look the other way. They want to think about all of these foo-foo-y things and ideals and ideas that are, you know, basically there to sell us something. And they don't want to think about the reality of where that takes you, you know, the end road, the end game, what's going to happen after all of these little things. Well, I don't want to think about that. I'm just having fun now. Woo! Selfie. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it hurts. It hurts the soul, man. It really does. Everybody is just so wrapped up in themselves, so convinced that they are the center of the universe, that they haven't got time for anyone else, right? Even people's best friends, right? They were like best friends before smartphones came along, and you would think that they would be even closer now that they have this. Now they're completely, they don't even want to talk to each other anymore. Why? Because this wedge between them has increased because we allowed all of these things to feed us all of this bullshit that we just we suck it in, and then it becomes a part of us, and now we're just this ugly, disgusting monster with these labels. And you look over at that person that you used to love, and you see all of these labels. They like this, and they like that, and oh, they posted this, ooh, no, and they're following that, oh, and all of a sudden, you're grown up. You know, instead of finding the things that are similar, we focus on the things that you don't like, and we pull away, you know. And that's the way the country's going. And of course, you know, America leads everything in the world. So yeah, we're going to lead that next. We're going to lead the division, is what we're going to do. Hopefully, the rest of the world will see us for what is really going on here, and use it as an example to not go down the same road and to change, right? And I'm not saying that these monarchs and autocracies and all these other things that are going on around the world, you know, our king takes really good care of us. Look at our country, you know. Okay, that's great. You know, what's the real picture? We see what you want us to see, but what's the real picture, you know? And the real picture is becoming more and more palatable compared to the picture we see in the United States, right? Anywhere you go. Sure, there are a few countries that are still out of whack, you know, the big giant countries, you know, America, Russia, China, those countries are still out of whack and still living in the past, you know. The newer countries, the Arab Emirates, those countries over there that we used to look at as really backward, right, have really come into their own, and they are leading the changes in the world now, you know, and we're leading the world in bullshit and assholes and selfish people, you know. Gimme, gimme, gimme. That ain't enough. Give me more. Totally. So much potential. This country had so much potential. And at the same time that the communism fell, and the Berlin Wall came down, and, you know, Gorbachev, tear down that wall, all that shit. When that happened, and capitalism won, right? That was the beginning of the end for humanity and the planet. Because then it was an all-out party like it's 1999, every day, all year, every year, until the, you know, right after the millennium, when everything changed, and now they wanted their control back, and they found a way to get their control back and get everybody on board, you know, and make donations to help, you know, and everybody join the fight. And everything, and of course, you know, you can look back 20, 23, 24 years and look back, and a lot of people, I'll never forget, and they're still whitewashed with the propaganda and the bullshit, and they will never want to see the truth, right? They'll just see exactly what they were programmed to see back then and throughout the decades. And then there are a lot of us who look back and go, yeah, we were bamboozled, big time. And a lot of people paid for it. And we're still paying for it. The whole fucking world is paying for it. Because they want to sell us something, you know. An unused weapon is a useless weapon. So we got to let's make a way to use these things. Let's create chaos, you know. Things are going really, really good. Well, when things are going really, really good, what the fuck do you need the government for, right? Things have to be, you know, crazy, right? The economy fails. Well, you know what really helps the economy? War. That's what helps the economy. Well, let's have a war. We ain't had a good war in a while. Let's have a war. Well, we can't have a war where there's nothing to war with. Well, we'll create a war. Hey, let's have a war. Yay! Ain't that fucking beautiful? Ain't that fucking lovely? And that's the way it works. And if you don't see that, I can't say that I'm sorry, because I don't apologize for shit intentionally. But, brr. If you don't see that, there's something going on. You got something wrong. That you've been so, deeply programmed that reality is the fantasy. Reality is something you see on TV. The fantasy that you live is reality. You're holding up the camera, giving this perfect selfie photo of you and your ass, and you're totally oblivious to the disgusting mess behind you in your home, right? Because you only see the fantasy part of it, and you don't see that, pile of dirty dishes and that crap on the floor and the baby sitting there covered in its own shit, because you're so wrapped up in your fantasy. Of course, that baby covered in its own shit has a screen, and it's staring at it, right? It sickens me to no end to think about the world and the condition that it's in. And so I just stay at home. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to the radio. I don't read anything modern. I don't look at anything modern. Because as much as I want it to change, there's nothing. I've had 56 years, and nothing has changed for the good. How can you say that? There's so much good in the world. Yeah, right. Compared to what? Compared it to what? From my point of view, it all sucks. I've been paying attention, and every year it just gets worse and worse. Every year the puddle of shit that you got to walk through just gets deeper and deeper. And they keep saying everything is fine, don't worry about it. And most of the world believes it. Why? Weapons of mass distraction. Keep them occupied, keep them busy, keep them looking at stupid memes and cat videos. That's how you do it now. And then if that doesn't work, then you throw something crazy at them, that they're not expecting, that's going to get the whole world to pay attention and make a decision to go this way or that way. And then if you're going this way or that way, well, then you got to go after the other guy. There you go. There you go. And if you don't see it that way, you're part of the problem, and you're exactly what they want. They want people that they can point in either direction and who will go readily. Because they're programmed. Nowadays, they're programmed from birth because they got that screen in front of them. Well, my child can't have access to anything that's going to harm them. Bullshit. You turn that over to them. By the time you turn away, they're already smarter than you, and they're figuring out how to bypass all the shit that you installed, right? We got 6-year-olds that are fucking, data encrypted fucking maniacs, right?
Oh, my child, he just does that educational
bullshit. Your child gets, past a screen because you don't want to do your fucking job. Period. And then if you're teaching your kid the bullshit that you learn on your screen, you ain't fucking doing your job. Period.
It disgusts me to no fucking end.
Throwback Thursday, more like throw up Thursday. Right? Because it makes me sick. It just makes me sick. And you can't try to talk to anyone. You can't try to deprogram anyone, right? Because they're so deep into the bullshit, right? You can't even see them anymore. Bullshit is here, and you see this straw coming out where they're breathing. That's it. They don't want to come out. They don't want to see away from the bullshit. They love the bullshit. The bullshit is nice and warm and squishy and feels fluffy, and it's a safe place. I just want to float in my bullshit. And I want to wear my labels. Give me another label. I don't have enough labels. I feel naked without my labels, right? You see my labels, right? That's why I wear those novelty t-shirts and those concert shirts, because each one of those fucking shirts says something about me and against what's happening in reality, right? Even if it's just me wearing like a 1975 shirt. That guy likes 1975. Ain't he ancient? He looks like the crypt keeper with a beard. And he likes the 1975? It's kind of a dichotomy there. It's weird. Yeah. So, yeah, everything that I stand for is something that others are scratching their head about. Because they don't get it. Because they're living in this weird, mixed up fucking place that I can't understand, right? Reverse Van Winkle just, woke up 40 years ago wondering what the fuck is going on here today. I want to go back, just say no. I'd have to say that the only really truly good thing for me about today is not a fucking cell phone or Wi-Fi or streaming. It's being able to order my marijuana over the telephone and have it delivered right to my house and being able to use my credit card to pay for it. Right? Now that is futuristic. That's something that I can get into now. All right? Everything else, it just kind of washes over me. And even then, the idea of anybody over the age of 21 being able to buy marijuana just means that kids are going to be able to get it easier and quicker. And you got more of the world just saying, not really getting it. It's not a recreational thing per se. It is, but it's also a mind-altering and reality-altering substance. And if you're not going to use it properly, like mushrooms, well, just don't go crazy with it, Don't just smoke a bunch and get all wasted and pass the fuck out. That's junior stuff there. Do little bits, get it into your head. Use it to change, to alter your perception of what's going on. And then maybe you'll start to see reality and start seeing through the bullshit. You'll pick up your phone and go, why am I doing this? Maybe I should read a book or watch a documentary, and don't watch a new documentary because they're full of shit. Watch an old documentary, Yeah.
Where the hell's he going with this? Leave him alone, Harry. He's mind expanding.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Totally. I think my wife said something about having to get up. I think she said she was going off with one of her friends again today. One of her friends has a house that she's getting ready to clean up and rent. So my wife's been helping her out. And I think she said she had to do something on the way home. Yeah, see, now that's the thing, is if I don't write stuff down, somebody's got to come by later and tell me, hey, don't forget, remember that this is going to go on, okay? And my wife and daughter have to do that to me on a regular basis. And I'm just looking at the calendar now thinking, oh, God. On Sunday, I got to go to the Forum. That's it. That's what it was. My wife is going to see if she can pick up an air mattress that she saw on Facebook. One that I can squeeze into the back of the hybrid, put the seats down, put the air mattress in, and take a nap when I get to the Forum Sunday night, so that I'm nice and refreshed Monday morning when I get to here. Because I hate missing this. I really hate missing the nighttime show because it goes by so quick, but it's so much fun in just a short hour. We're looking at like 16 songs and 12 to 15 or 20 commercials and news stuff. It's a lot packed into an hour, right? And it's a lot of fun. And I usually do it starving. I usually do it right after a nap. So I'm wide awake and my stomach is growling the whole time, and I'm just listening to everything right along with everyone. And it's a ball. It's a blast. When I get done here, I will once again create my set list for this evening and set it aside so that when I get up from my nap at 3 or 4, all I have to do is click on a bunch of buttons, for a couple of minutes, and my show is ready to start. And then I can start the pre-show, and then I've got a half an hour to kill to eat something, get something to drink, do whatever, go to the bathroom, and get ready for sit down here for an hour and do the show. And then while that pre-show is on, I've got it playing through my phone, blasting through the house so that I can hear how the show is doing and see, the live stream here versus what's popping up on YouTube, and make sure everything's working. So I've got that half hour buffer to get everything technically savvy. I'm going to get it hot. I'm going to get it so hot it burns my face. Right? Looking down, I got my new ATM card here I've got to activate this morning. Set it there and remind me to deal with it ASAP here. Because my old card is up right quick because it's the end of the month here soon. So I want to get that one dealt with. Come on, Bubber. You can do it, Bubber. I know, I am trying to do it. God, I got so many books back here I want to read. And I barely got a chance to peruse them. I need to sit and... What I need is to find the books that I want to read, find them on audio, and sit and listen to them while I'm doing my video work, right? And then while I'm listening to them, I can say, ooh, and I can shoot to that page and dog-ear it, or put a post-it next to it, or highlight it, or whatever. Because a lot of these books are historical, biographical type stuff, where a lot of the information itself is important. They're not stories so much as they are informational catalogs of data, dates and names and shit. Especially the stuff on Wounded Knee, and I've got like a half a dozen books on the subject. Because at some point I am going to sit down and put together something about Wounded Knee and my father's small involvement trying to help bring the story to the world. Because like I said, he was working at the radio station at the time, and he was phoning in reports about what was going on out there. And it was some heavy stuff. I mean, it's unfortunate that he's gone now, and I don't have the opportunity to really get his story. I'm hoping that one of my cousins who recorded some audio from my father might have something that will help. But I'm not a guy that can easily go hit up family members from the past and say, hey, what's going on, yeah, I mean, because like I've said before, I've never really felt like one of the family. I feel like an add-on. I feel like someone who, someone who was allowed to be there because I had no other place to go, which I think was really made it easy for me to leave home and go stay with friends and family of friends, because they accepted me the same way. It's like, well, sure, you can stay with us. You got nowhere else to go. you know, and that's kind of the way I felt at home, you know. Not accepted for who I was, but more accepted because what else is he going to do? What else can we do with him? You know, we can't just get rid of him. Maybe we should have let him get adopted to the Vaughns when he was a baby, you know. They took care of him for a long time. Maybe we should have just left him there, you know. And there are some periods of my life where I have thought, you know what, maybe they should have just left me with those people. Maybe it would have been better. Because I don't really know much more now about me, you know. And, yeah, anyway, there's that. The Vaughns. Why is my middle name Vaughn? Right? What the hell does that mean? I know exactly what it means. You don't have to beat me with the rubber mallet over the head 1,800 times before I figure it out. You have to just do it 799 times. Just half as much. Fuck it. Drink some more coffee, smoke some more pot, put it out of your head. Ain't nothing you're gonna do. It's gonna change any of that, right? Ain't no answers out there anymore. Only more questions. So, back to the whole 1973, father just, 4 or 5 years out of Vietnam, and then hires an Indian guide to take him into Wounded Knee so that he can interview people and take pictures, right? I don't know where any of those pictures are. I have a small reel, a couple of minutes of 16mm film. I don't know if it's any good or not. I know that he had that camera with him and a big lens on it and a tape recorder. I have one piece of audio from that period, and it's his finished studio version of kind of what went on during Wounded Knee, but he doesn't tell his story. I don't have any writings of my father on the subject. So, that little piece is lost to history except for what I can remember and what my brother can remember. And mainly what I remember is my experience, my point of view, and things that I were told afterward about what happened. And my mother's story versus my father's story, and how they are slightly different in some regards, right? Versus what I remember about it. And my memories are cobbled together with things that I've been told that I remember, right? Which is the way the brain works. So it'll be interesting doing research and finding video and photographs and putting together some kind of video and voiceover, and what is that going to be like? This many generations removed, yet I was actually there in Wounded Knee, right there in Pine Ridge. So, how's that gonna look out? So I'm really gonna have to get with my brother and kind of get some kind of idea of what he remembers. My aunt, my father's older sister, is still alive. Does she remember anything about that? Did my father tell my cousin anything while she was recording some audio? I don't know. So we're gonna have to look into that before I can do a thorough mini documentary on our family and that period in time. So, yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not rushing it because it's a long haul as far as data, and if I can, I'll have to look through my sources and see if I can come up with some audio that I can listen to. Some of the books that I have are Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, and then there are The Road to Wounded Knee, which is pretty much a factual accounting of things that led up to the events at Wounded Knee. And I've really been digging through that one and reading a lot of that one because it's just matter of fact stuff. You know, Russell Means, Dennis Banks, they went here, they did this, they did Alcatraz, and they did the Washington March, and the Trail of Tears, and the Trail of Broken Treaties, and then that led into all of the stuff that led to Wounded Knee, and so to be able to listen to some of this stuff audio. And make notes between the book and a notebook. That would really help me because I'm old school. I mean, I can't just copy and paste and think like college kids think nowadays. So, but that'll be interesting. I can't wait to get, get more deeply involved. And that's probably going to be during some time off, where I'll be able to just kind of invest myself into a project. And go deep undercover. Totally.
Jeez. Holy hell.
Yeah, I had a weird life growing up. My parents were kind of hippies and stuff, and we lived in some weird times, did a lot of weird shit, right? And I talk a lot about things that happened, and I want to make it clear that I don't hold any animosity or any hatred to anyone, because I wasn't them. I didn't make those decisions. I didn't live the lives they lived, so I can't hold any grudges or be pissed off. How could they have done this to me? And I mean, I just look at it stuff matter of fact. It is what it is. That's the way it happened. I try not to deal with animosity and revenge and old grudges and letting shit build up. And it's like, you know what, I had plenty of time for that. I don't have time for that anymore. I got more time for introspective reflection and trying to find out the realities of who I am, to explain the realities of who I am. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at people for stuff that happened back then. Now, what's the point of that? Most of those people are gone anyway. I mean, I'm not out to bash anybody or badmouth anybody if I say something about something that somebody did or happened, or it's just a matter of fact thing. It's happened. That sucked. Bad them, and I move on. I'm not saying it to make people think, oh gosh, what a horrible person that was, because I don't see people as being, our actions are, and our actions don't necessarily say, well, if you did something back then that's all, that's you, that's forever, that's you, you're always going to be that person who made that one bad decision, right? I made bad decisions. I hope that people would look back at me and not, at the decisions that I've made and not think, well, gosh, if he made that one mistake or those half dozen or dozen mistakes, that must mean that he's always going to be that, And I don't look at other people like that. I give them the benefit of the doubt that we're always changing and evolving. So, yeah. I mean, even people now that are still alive, that are still around, that tweak my psyche one way or the other. It's like I'll vent, I'll say something, and then I'll fucking move on. If somebody's got a comment or wants to add to that, bring it on. But I'm not, once I've said what I got to say and had my emotional peace with it, I move the fuck on. Why? Because I spent too many decades holding on to all that crap. And I learned that if I'm going to be able to survive peacefully during the time that I have, that I just need to let the shit go, Dwell on it during the time I'm thinking about it, but then have my emotional, outburst and move the fuck on. He was really upset about that. My God, he's pissed. No, I was pissed. you know, for my brief period in time, so that I'm not pissed forever in my head about that one thing just stacking onto them. That's what most people do. They're not allowed to express themselves. You know, I don't want to get gaffled up and hauled off to the mental hospital because I'm standing in the street screaming, I'm fucking pissed off. You know, and that's what people need to do. They need to express their fucking emotions, good, bad, happy, sad, whatever, and move the fuck on. You know, and instead they hold it inside. My boss pissed me off, and I'm going to go home and kick the dog and yell at the wife and beat the kids and all that. Why? Because we don't let the shit fucking pass through us. We hold on to it. We ain't a fucking filter. You know? Let that shit go. Let it fucking go. I ain't got time for that shit anymore. You know, my daughter will see me freak out and blow up over something, and she'll just be like, "Are you done yet?" Yeah, I think I'm. Well, yeah, okay, I'm done. You know, good. Let's. You know, I try not to let the things that used to bug me crazy. You know, people in traffic, people out in the world, mainly other people. You know, if I let them control my emotions, what does that say about me, right? So I avoid that. So I'm driving, it's you fucking bastard, Jesus, and I'll turn the radio, you know, and move the fuck on. Don't let that, you know, people do that. They just keep shit bottled up inside until finally they pop, you know, go into a place and blast people because they're fucking kooked, you know. The world won't allow them, you know. What we need is to get the fucking shit out, you know. Don't do that. Don't say that. You can't do that. You can't think that. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, I can. I can stand in the middle of the fucking town and scream and yell. I ain't hurting no one, you know. What? I'm offending that lady who has to cover her kid's eyes. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Why? I'm allowed to be pissed off, you know. If you can stand on a fucking corner with a sign that says Trump or Israel or you know, feed the homeless or whatever, then I can stand out there and scream, I'm pissed off and I ain't gonna fucking take it anymore. Change, world, please. And you know what? I'm the one they're gonna arrest. Why? Because I show emotion, right? Emotion. He's showing emotion. Put him down. Put him down. Get down on the ground. Stop showing emotion. That's the way it is. No wonder people go fucking cuckoo, you know. So I don't want to become that guy. So I have an emotion, I let it out. If somebody's going to ask me about why did you have an emotion, I'll explain to them. Well, see, I have emotions like a normal person so that I can express my feelings, deal with my emotions, and move the fuck on. Were you not taught that as a child? No, I was taught to just shut up and take it. And not say anything and not fight back and not speak up and speak my mind. How do you do that? I just sit on my phone and be told what to do. Ugh. I'm weird. I'm a weird guy. Why? Because I guess I'm real. I guess I'm just too fucking real. I know if there were a lot of people watching right now and would have been watching the last 20 minutes or so, right? There would be comments up the wazoo because they would hear like one word, right? And they would be, how dare you talk about something you have no idea, right? And that's the way that would go. But luckily, there ain't enough people who give a shit about watching what I'm doing here. And the people who do give a shit about what I'm doing here, I think they pretty much get where I'm coming from, and I'm not out to just attack, you know. I'm kind of the opposite of attack, you know. Prepare, speak up, stand up, be proud, you know, but not that kind of proud that's stepping on somebody's face to show how proud you are. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm proud to help.
Yeah. Ah, cheese. Ah, cheese. Is he saying hat cheese? I don't know. Hat cheese? Ew. You can get a lot of that out here on a hot day, especially when it's humid. Tell him to stop. I don't want to hear that. It's early. I'm trying to eat a bagel, you know. I've got like a bagel here, and my bagel is like getting all mushy because you're talking about hat cheese. Yeah. So I've been going over and over and over in my head on how to revamp this whole hat cheese, huh? Yeah, that's right. Good old hat cheese. Fucking Joey. Yeah, I know. It's got an effect on people, I know. Hat cheese and bagels. Blah. Bagels and hat cheese. So I've been trying to figure out how to revamp this room and give it some more life and expand the view and all of that, and give some close-ups and some long shots and stuff. So I was kind of do it during a period of change, you know, in between seasons and that kind of stuff. But also, I've been known that toward the end of the seasons, I've been experimental in trying out new things. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I still haven't gotten any word on appointments or schedules with my dentist. So I don't know when anything like that is going to be happening. We're going to get through some more concerts here in August. We've got one at the end of the month here, Sunday. And then a couple in August, one locally and then one out in Vegas. So, in fact, I've got to get with my daughter and have her schedule us a room right away out in Vegas, so we can do that. And I think we're doing 2 nights out in Vegas at the Caesar, because we've got to be there for the show, and then after the show, where we're going to go, right? So, and while I have trouble sleeping in a motel room, there's no way I'm going to sleep at my in-laws. I'd have to stay an extra day, just to be able to catch up on some rest, right? And then even then, it probably wouldn't work out well. And then that's an even further drive into upper northern Vegas. So it looks like we'll probably get a room right there where the concert is. So we've got good safe parking and a good room, and then we'll check out the day after the concert and just drive home. And then we've got to be back out there in October for the When We Were Young festival, and that's going to be fun. It's an all-day thing. Some of my favorite bands are going to be there from my daughter's stuff. So if I'm just hoping that I'm up to it physically, right? Because physically I ain't been up to shit lately. Not even that. So I need to really work toward that. Cold coffee. That's going to require time off, I think, depending on what I have happening at that point. That's going to require some time off. So it'll be a drive out there and another 2 nights in a motel, and I'll probably be dropping them off at the show and then showing up when one of the acts that I want to see are going to perform, and then stay until the last act that I want to see performs, and then just kind of either be there or be near, waiting for them to come out. Because my old bones just can't handle being upright for that long. I'm asking her about handicap seating and that kind of stuff, you know. And I'm thinking about a cane with a seat on it, you know, a hammock that I can swing up between lamp posts. I'm thinking about anything, right? How am I going to make it through something like a friggin' a festival when we were young? That's so appropriate, you know, because I ain't. Yeah, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I mean, that first trip to Vegas in August, that's hard enough to think about, right? I mean, look, I'm taking the kids to the Forum on Sunday, and I'm planning to nap, right, while they're concerting. So, there's no way I'm going to be able to plan a nap at a festival like that. The Killers, we're going to see the Killers at Caesars in August. That's so close. And we're going to stay there at Caesars, hopefully, if we can get a room now. That should be real easy to deal with. I can get a lot of rest before the show, don't have to do any traveling the day of the show. I don't have to do any driving home the day of the show, right? So that's going to be like a dry run for the festival, you know, which is going to be pretty much the same thing. Drive out the day before, get some good rest, drop the kids off for the first part of the show, and then show up when it's, you know, time for me to be there, and just kind of last as long as I can last, you know, and try to, you know, because it's at the Caesars, and because we got a room, maybe try to get some kind of place where I can sit the fuck down, right? I don't remember where this festival is, but I think we'll probably stay at Caesars again. So, you know, maybe join their VIP club or something to try to get some special place to, you know, sit. I don't know, but the festival is the one that worries me. It's an all-day fucking thing, you know, and I will have to I'm going to figure out that venue and what's going on. Yeah, that's right. I'll take a hit to that. Yeah. So my daughter's friend Charlie has been here for a while. Got sick coming out for the last concert, and wasn't able to go home because of the newborn baby back at home. So Charlie's just been staying here. It's been fucking awesome having an extra kid around. But I haven't had much time to get with my daughter on designing some graphics, new show graphics. I'm trying to get her to design a picture of this so that I can create some stickers and other graphics from it. And I want to get her to help me do some t-shirt designs for fundraising. So I kind of wanted to do something like that before she went back to school, because we have limited time together once she's in school. I'm hoping that because she's had the 2 years of college, she's going to be able to deal with university a little bit better, since she's going to be there most of the day on the 2 days that she goes down. she should have a lot of extra time to deal with work in an academic environment and get it over with, rather than come home and sit and procrastinate to the last minute and then get it done. So hopefully she'll get into that, and hopefully that will give her more time at home, either to relax or spend time with us or her friends. So that's totally cool. But yeah, I do need to get to creating more graphics, t-shirt designs, that kind of stuff there. Muy importante. I've just about got enough content banged out for next month that I can ease back and think about creating a video reunion trailer. I did a teaser trailer. Now I need to do an actual trailer and say, look, this is the days, these are the days that it's happening. This is the event. And you know, this is what we have in mind. Who wants to get involved? You know, talk about fundraising, talk about the events, talk about the entertainment, talk about everything that's going to be involved to try to get excitement, you know, generated about this. You're not looking at my belly, are you? Stop it. So my hope is to get enough people involved ahead of time that I won't have to worry so much about a lot of the different things that, you know, aspects of planning it and pulling it off. Planning it and then making it happen are like my forte. Getting people to come, invitations, tickets, that kind of stuff, fundraising, not my wheelhouse. So I'm hoping to get people involved who can deal with that kind of stuff. So feeling good about programming. I am going to start working more on reunion stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out and go to Elsinore right away. I'm just going to have to kind of do it from here and use as much information as I can gather from here.
Yeah, that's it right there.
And I need to spend 1 week a month, right, just focused on reunion stuff for 6 months. 1 weekend a month, 1 week. And then every week I should be spending a couple of days a week after 6 months. And there should come a time, like 2 or 3 months ahead of time before the reunion, where it's everything that I do every day is focused on that, aside from whatever I do here, and it'll just be, you know, getting shit done, moving and shaking. Mainly it's going to be communication. It's going to be communication between the different people involved, right? Because I'm going to really have my hands full with the planning end of it, the contacting the people, coming up with shirt designs, filling orders for shirts. I need people who are going to sell shirts so that I can just do designs and make commercials about the shirts and then fill orders, right? Just take orders and fill orders, and have other people out there that are sharing the video and the ads and everything, and the fundraising stuff and the everything, you know. And it needs to be one of those commercials where he told 2 friends and he told 2 friends and he told 2 friends, and it just gets crazy, right? And I might do something like that in the in one of the trailers, you know, and do one of those old shampoo commercial things where I'm sitting next to myself, and then I told a friend, and then he told two friends, and then they told two friends, right? And then have me expand until it's just a big grid of little squares of me looking and talking. That'll be fun, right?
What the hell is this guy talking about? Jesus, Marge. Leave him alone, Harry. At least he has imagination. You're saying I don't? Well... That's it, Harry. I'm warning you.
Come here, Marge. I love you.
Oh, Harry. Oh, baby.
Dime si es correcto.
Yeah, that's right.
Those two, they're always fighting and making up, you know. Dude, those people drive me nuts, man. It's like they're always going at it, and they're always like, you know, banging, doing the boom boom. Oh man, you know, I'm totally obsessed with that nighttime nonsense and nostalgia music, because I'm constantly having those songs go through my head. You know, crazy words, crazy tunes, it's all that you'll ever hear him croon. Bo-do-de-o, bo-do-do-de-o-do, bo-do-do. Sits around all night long, seems crazy word to the crazy song. Bo-do-de-o, bo-do-do-de-o-do. Yep, Vodio, Dodio, Dodio, Do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. That's totally cool. Yes, you are correct, sir. Yes. Well, my stream looks really healthy. Is what I told the urologist. No, but it does. It looks really good, really strong. It barely dips below 7,000 kilobytes per second, right? Which is really, I mean, I haven't seen it go to 6 yet. That's fucking great. That's strong. It's using very little CPU, 6% or less. I haven't dropped any frames. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. That's nice. These streams don't mean much in the scheme of things. A stream in the scheme is mainly a flame. Huh? Shut up.
All right, I'll take a hit to that.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was just off in another world again, thinking about the old hometown t-shirt designs, places to try to put on t-shirts, right? Like the Alamo Market, Ortega Oaks Market, the Roundup Market, 3J Market. Those are 4 t-shirts right there, all right? and now coming up with a design. It should just be the building from an angle that looks good, got a nice, what you call it, third perspective view. You know, you got the sign, you got the building, the 3J building, right? The way it looked way back then, before malarkeys and all that, and the little gas station in the front, right? I mean, that's a picture right there. You know, and then maybe looking down Riverside Drive. And then looking down Riverside Drive, you should see a little KFC bucket and a little A-frame down there, right? Come on, that's a nice looking t-shirt. You know, a couple of palm trees. Yeah. And, you know, don't capture everything, but just pick up enough that you go, oh, wow, look at that. I remember that. Totally remember that, man. That's so cute. I want one of those. So yeah, if I can capture some little, you know, some moments on a t-shirt from the past, that'd be so fucking cool. And then use them to raise money for the event. And then in the event that the event becomes an event that everybody wants to eventually attend, you like that? You like how I did that? Then we would definitely keep t-shirts coming and rolling over into the next year. It's like, all right, we're going to sell t-shirts now because we want to get a bigger act to come and perform next year. Or we want to hold it at a bigger place because this just wasn't big enough. Or we want to do more. You know, everybody wants to stay for a week next time, and we want to take everybody on a tour. Hey, let's go to Disneyland next time for the early birds. Right? I don't know. Who fucking knows? You know, I just want to, this girl just wants to have fun. That's it. Girls just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. Arr. No, really. T-shirts. T-shirts. I got to sit right here in front of me. T-shirts. I just need to focus. T-shirts. I've created so many videos. I got videos up the wazoo, right, for August. I don't really have to worry about live stuff. That creates itself. You know, a little research and downloading and arranging on occasion for the nighttime stuff, and practically no work at all for this. So, you're telling me, God, this is boring. When's he going to do something? Is he going to pull a rabbit out of a hat? Yeah, I'll pull a rabbit out of something. Come here. I'll give you a rabbit. I said rabbit, not rabid. Oh. So, yeah, I'm feeling it in my bones. We're getting close to August, and that's a year away. So, I'm really going to put the hammer down and try to get some good, some good video stuff put together. You know, and try to get people pumped about this. I'm gonna claim to have certain acts coming to perform, right? And then have it ostracized. Did he say ostracized? No, whatever. There's a little asterisk there that says he's subject to change, right? These are who I want. These are the acts that I'm trying to get for these 3 days. It's subject to change, depending on their availability versus how much they want to charge me, right? So I'm hoping that I can get people there who aren't going to need to charge a whole lot because they want to be part of the event, right? You don't have to have come from Elsinore to go to this event. You don't necessarily have to be from there or know anything about it, right? I worked with this guy for 20 years, and all he could talk about was Elsinore. I got to check this out. So we're coming from Wisconsin to go check it out. So, you know, there you go. Let's do that. Should be a lot of fun, right? I'm going to be the only guy sitting there, me and a cricket. Whatever. It's a matter of, okay, look, this is what's going on. This is the event. It's a year away. T-shirts are to come. You know, if you want to talk about fundraising and donations, ahead of time, talk to this person, and then set that up, you know. And it's like once we have some donations in, we can start t-shirt production. Once we start t-shirt production, we can start heavy-duty preparations, right? Once, I lost 57 frames. Once we figure out some kind of tentative guest list, we can figure out what we're planning for, right? Tickets are going to be sold up until the day, and during each day, tickets will be sold still, right? So hopefully it will generate enough capital to take care of itself and to make it come off really, really well. And yes, you can come. Yes, everyone's invited. At first I was thinking, well, we'll just have a few people from our hometown to get together, just a couple of people from a certain area. And I was like, that's not right. Other people, other friends and stuff have said, ooh, I'd like to go. And it was like, you know what? Yeah, we need to get everyone there. New friends, old friends, kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, aunts and uncles, people who are from the state where people moved from to come to Elsinore and live, because there's a lot of that, So, and then people would then leave California and go back to that state where their family's from. So yeah, definitely, Joey, you and Jacob and whoever else from around the world who wants to show up. It's going to be one of those types of events. And so we're going to sell t-shirts and sell tickets and, have an all-day events, camping, breakfast and dinner and tours and anything we can think of in the next year to pull off for a week, we're going to do it. The event will be 3 nights and 4 days, 4 days and 3 nights of the event, but you can come days ahead of time and stay days afterward to involve yourself in not only the setup and the breakdown, but also in stuff like, a trip to the beach, a trip out wine tasting, maybe a trip to Disneyland, that kind of stuff, and we'll try to plan those things for people who are going to show up early and stay late, So yeah, it'll be a fucking blast. I want it to be a festival as well as a reunion, because it's going to involve camping, and you don't necessarily have to camp. People can get a motel room or an Airbnb or stay with a friend or relative, whatever. Get a trailer and park it in the same campground, just not right on the site. If I get the site that I want for the event, we'll have permission to bring 3 vehicles on. One large motorhome trailer for emergency stuff, right? Emergency bathroom, cooking facilities, a place for elderly and infirmed people to hang out, a place for babies and kids to go be in out of the weather or whatever. And then we'll have another vehicle with a little trailer, probably my van with gear and stuff. And then a vehicle that'll be able to come and go during the time of setting up. People can bring a vehicle in, drop off their camping gear, set it up, and then park their vehicle out. And then the vehicle that will show up and stay overnight will be the one for whatever band is performing, right? And then they'll be able to have their vehicle out there, and then they can set up a tent or stay in their vehicle or whatever and hang out for the duration if they want. So it'll be really neat, and I'll try to get the camping fees down really low, and keep everyone fed and entertained and nostalgic, and it'll be a fucking blast. So yeah, it's we're getting to August here soon, which will be a year away, and I really need to start getting people to commit, right? To commit, to say, yes, I'm going to be there. I'll be there I'll come that day, and I'm going to leave on that day, right? And how do you need me between now and then, right? That's what I'm looking for. And I just need like a half a dozen people like that who are going to say, what can I do? I've already got one person who says, just give me a job, right? So it's like, okay, now that I've had time to reflect and get over that flu a little bit more, I'm going to get back in touch with her and say, okay, look, this is what I've come up with. This is my idea. Share this trailer and this event calendar and these posts with 10 people, right? That's it. Share it with people who you know have access to 10 people who have access to, you know, important, influential people from the past, you know, class, school, politics, the football team guys, cheerleaders, people involved in the drama club, people involved in music back then. We need to get those people involved, reaching out to people who are involved, because the word is just going to spread. Oh, I know more than 10 people. Great, go do it. You know, then, and that's all it takes, you know. And so I need to create the content, I need to create those things that will inform people of what's going on and get them on board. And then I need someone to take charge of not so much filtering out those people, but keeping track of who really, really is in earnest going to be there. And then they go on to the green sheet, and then others go on to the black sheet, which will be like a maybe, you know. And then hopefully we won't have a red sheet where it's like, no, we can't have that person there, right? So we don't want to have that. We don't want to have a red sheet. But you never know. Maybe somebody will show up and just wind up on the red sheet. They ain't coming back. I don't want that either. I plan that when the crowd, when the attendees exceeds a certain population, then some of the money will go to hire staff to deal with the front gate, tickets, passes, wristbands for people who are going to drink and go into the beer garden, right? Because they won't be drinking out with everyone else, because I want it to be for families, kids and grandkids and that kind of thing. So things will be, you know, will have a professional feel to it, so people will feel safe. You know, I'll have, when it gets to a certain population, I will have a hired security person who is mainly there for assistance, right? It's like, okay, this person over here just said that they're having a heat stroke. We need to get them into the trailer and call 911. And the security guy's on it because that's his job, and he's a first responder, and he's got paramedic skills and all that. So I want to get somebody like that, one or two people like that, who are going to be there just in case, you know, somebody gets drunk, out of control, and they have the skills to come in and quell the situation, and they have the physical strength to keep people apart, right? You know, on a population level, you know, when it starts to exceed a certain number, then we're going to have to think about stuff like that. You know, have the gate a little more partitioned off so people can't just walk through while somebody's talking to somebody else. You know, is it going to come to the point where I need to hire or rent a metal detector thing? You know, that kind of stuff. Do I have to have a security guy at the gate with people to do a pat down? Okay, empty your pockets, yada, yada, yada. If it gets to a certain number, yes. When it gets to a certain number of people who I don't really know, then hell yes, right? Because it will have reached the state where it requires that and that kind of concern to make sure that everybody's safe. We're going to have kids there, right? So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be important to have that taken care of, you know. And while we will have kids there, we will also have live music and drinking and stuff. So it has to have some kind of balance. I go to clubs all the time where, you know, people are drinking here, and you got a mom and her kid right here. You know, a mom and a 9-year-old kid right here, right? So it's not an illegal thing, but it needs to have concern put into it, forethought and such. So it's all possible, you know. It's like, okay, here is the area where we're watching the live music, and here is an area that is completely partitioned off where families can put their kids into to watch the show, and everybody from all of the camps surrounding the lawn can see those kids in that fenced-in area in front of the stage, right? Because the kids are the smallest, and they should be the ones front and center looking at the stage, enjoying everything. And then everybody else can be back here on the lawn in chairs and standing up, partying, dancing, doing whatever, right? So that's how I see that, okay? But then the kids should have a direct access, a direct safe access, either into the camping, which will be the canopies alongside bordering the lawn, or a direct shot, like fenced area, fenced path that leads directly to the motorhome, right? So kids they can go from the lawn and go to their camp, or they can go directly into the motorhome where there are adults supervising what's happening there, and they have access to those safe facilities inside the motorhome or trailer, right? And this is all constantly rolling through my head, all of these things that have to be dealt with, you know. So you just walk around a little path behind the stage, there's the motorhome, you go into the motorhome, the kids can go in, use the restroom, get a cold drink, come back out directly to the lawn, unhindered and unmolested, down a little lit path, and wind up right in front of the stage again, and then take that little exit into the canopies and be right where all of the families are camping along the grass, right? Sounds like a blast to me. Daytimes are going to be filled with fun and games and videos and all kinds of music and recreation, boating, biking, hiking, motorbiking, you know, whatever we can frickin' do out there, we're going to do it. Mainly have fun and enjoy people, you know, now while they're around, and try to reflect on those people who aren't around anymore. But mainly to have fun, you know, some live music, some fun and game. I mean, I just see a lot of fun, you know. The camping trip that I never get to have, you know, all of those 100 camping trips that I never had the chance to take, all rolled up into one huge week of fun, you know, fun. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. Is it almost over? Yep, it's over. No more coffee.
Hi, cheese.
It's, what is today? Today's Thursday. Let's see. That's Incredible is playing tonight at 8 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, there's a film on film editing. Today at 8 is X-1, and at noon we have an episode of Gildersleeve, the great Gildersleeve. I love that show. Yeah, there's so much fun stuff to watch or listen to on my channel. I feel a little greedy having so much fun stuff. I go to other channels and they've just got a little bit of this or a little bit of that or a couple of collections of these or those. And I feel greedy that I get to play all of this stuff, you know, all in one spot. I imagine that at some point I'm going to get the boot from YouTube because I'll have too many strike claims or something all at once, which will totally screw me. And then I'll have to take to putting short videos on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and stuff until I'm allowed to get back on, if I have ever allowed to get back on YouTube. So, you know, fingers crossed that I don't screw myself up by uploading all this shared content. But I'm hooked. I can't help it. You know, I don't even want to research, you know, the realities of what happens, because I don't like to deal with some realities. You know, I've got enough harsh realities to deal with that sometimes I just don't want to even think about. What if I do this? Oh my God, don't do that. Yeah, totally. So yeah, August of 2025, right in the middle, smack in the middle. It's like from the 18th to the 18th to the something. No, 15th to the 18th. That's what it is. The 15th of August to the 18th of August. 4 days and 3 nights. Unless you're coming early from Wednesday to Wednesday for a whole week. It's just the 3 nights. But every day, for 3 days, there'll be a breakfast. For 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, there'll be dinner served, barbecue stuff, and it's included with your ticket, right? It's included with your ticket. So people are going to show up and pay up, a little bit more for showing up late to show up for just the music, because they won't be paying for camping. But you show up at this time and your ticket gets you dinner, gets you food. There's food cooking, I got the burgers and dogs over here. The ribs are gone, man. You're too late. The tamales are gone. No more carne asada. But hey, we got burgers and dogs. So I love to cook, and I love to create menus, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun, a lot of planning, a lot of carrying out stuff ahead of time. But I need this time right now talking about it to get myself pumped up for it, and to hopefully get others pumped up and excited about coming. I mean, maybe, if Joey's going to come, he won't come alone. It's a year away. Maybe he'll plan on coming out with a friend or two, and coming out and actually camping for the whole week and hanging out and seeing more than just what happens on the weekend, and being able to come out, either fly out or drive out, and then have a car to go around and check out things in the area, come out and stay for a couple of weeks, get an Airbnb or or camp, or do both, stay for a half a week in an Airbnb and then camp during the thing, and then go back to an Airbnb for a half a week and go home, but just come and hang out, and bring more than just yourself. Bring your adventure clothes, because I plan on trying to create as much fun and nostalgia as possible. Get someone professional to come and take photographs, or get a photo booth, and try to get enough people together to do photos, to put together a yearbook, so that after the fact we can send out yearbooks. All right, who wants a yearbook? All right, sign up for yearbooks, and then pay your donation to get a yearbook, and then we have them printed after the fact and send out yearbooks, and then next year you bring your yearbook in and you have it signed, take pictures for the next yearbook, dude, no, really, have special guests, I'd like to see some of the old staff from the junior high and the high school. That would be really cool. Some of the, try to bring as much of the past, as well as the present, kids and grandkids, and people who have no idea what Elsinore is about. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. But we're in a perfect Southern California location there in Elsinore to pull off a lot of stuff. I gotta go check a dog situation. I hear feet tick-tacking around. Be right back. Yeah, got a couple of dogs that are running wild now, trying to wake up here. What do you want to do, Sam? You want to go back outside? Go back to bed? Go with Natalie? What do you want to do? You want to open this door? Buck, totally okay. So the big dog is here. Whitefish is here. Come here, Whitefish. Come here. Come here, little Oliver. He's biscuits and gravy. See his little biscuits? And he's all gravy. Got a biscuit here, and a couple of biscuits here. I know you got biscuits in your gravy everywhere. You little sweetie Petey. Yes, you're a good little baby. Yes, oh, okay, I'll keep scratching you. I had to leave the door open because Sam's outside. Ah, Sam. But little Oliver here, he wants some attention, and then he'll scurry back off to bed. I know, Oliver. There you go. There you go. There you go, little guy. Little sweetheart. Hi. Hi. You want to go back to bed yet? What do you want to do? You want to go back to bed? I got no food. There's nothing here. You got kibble. You're too late for an early snack. If you ain't got anything for him, he's like, all right, I ain't got time for this. I can find something. Jeez. Yeah, he's gonna go back to bed. If you ain't eating something, if you don't hear food-related words, he's just like, all right, I'm out of here. If you ain't gonna eat, I'm gone. Oopsie, oopsie. All right, totally. Well, I feel like Sam now. I'm starting to wake up, and I might have to go outside. I mean,
Use the facilities. Yeah, that's it.
use the facilities.
Excuse me, can I use the facilities? I just gotta. Hi, what's your name? All right, can I use the facilities? I just gotta Hi, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah. Oh, and there's my dog barking. Better go let his dumb ass in. He'll wake the neighborhood. Come on, Skullfly. Come on. Fine. You want to go back to bed yet? Or are you going to drink Eat, drink, and be hairy? Alright, come here. Come here, Sam. Come say good morning. Come, Sam. Sam. Come say good morning to me. Come here. Uh-oh. Holy hell. There's some noise outside. I gotta check it out. Pardon my excuses. I see. I see it all now, perfectly clear. Loch Loch. Loch Lobin. Loch Ness. Yeah. Lock and load. Hey, Sam, come here. Come here. Come here, say good morning. Come here. Up. Sam. Hash browns and sausage. Hi, buddy. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. You like that, huh? Hug you good. You like to be hugged? Can you dame besos? Sam, dame besos. Dame besos. Good boy. You don't want to give me hugs, but you're going to kiss us? Alright, good boy. Good boy. I know. She's like, it's too early for this shit. Fucking human. Yeah. So one of these cool educational films that I found is The Private Life of a Cat from 1947. This is really cool. It's just, I think it's even silent. It's just early film of a guy's cat in his apartment or house or whatever, or his two cats, and it follows the couple of cats through their lives and having baby kittens and playing and raising the baby kittens, and it's just a really neat little nature film in someone's house, right? It's really, really cool. And while I haven't really watched it, I just watched it while it was saving, and it saves pretty much in real time most of the time. Sometimes a little faster, sometimes a little slower, but it usually saves like in real time. Has to play it and save it. Mainly because my computers are slow. So I can sit here and watch it without sound while it's saving. And it looked really interesting. The whole, giving birth of the kittens, which I've seen countless of times with cats and dogs and other animals in real life. And a lot of people have never seen the birth of a living animal, on video, let alone in real life. And when we were young, we grew up around animals and would see that a lot. A lot. Unfortunately, because, so many animals were brought into the world. And like so many people brought into the world, they shouldn't be. There's just way too many people, way too many animals, domesticated animals, way too many humans on the planet. Put a cork in it, people. Tie it off. Jeez, put a knot in it. Save something for the rest of us. Sheesh. Sheesh. I mean sheesh. Come on, Totally like sheesh. Is that one of them he sheeshes? Yeah, that's it. It's exactly what it is. Dummy. Alright. Oh, and another series that I found, I didn't know it was a series, called 6 American Families. And it's 6 episodes of following the life of a family for a period of time. in different places in the United States, like the Georges of New York, the Kennedys of upper state, wherever, and it just follows these different families around the country and takes a look at their lives and lifestyle and, you know, that kind of thing. And it's really cool, and I can't wait to watch those. So I uploaded the first one, the Georges of, well, I haven't uploaded it yet, but the Georges of New York is the first one that I've created, and the father of the family is, they're an African-American family living in New York. The father is a cop, an NYPD cop, and it just kind of follows him and his family and his work and neighborhood and extended family, you know, and it's just a really, you know, while watching it, I can see that it's a really in-depth look at, you know, this family's life. And so it was like I was putting the two reels together on the editing program and chopping out the garbage. And I realized then, which is why I do the editing work on them, is that they were both reel one. One said reel two, but it was really reel one, right? There were reel one, and then I loaded up reel one again. I was like, wait a second, this one says reel two, but it's reel one. So I had to go back to the place where I'd found them and find a different way of getting the correct reel two, and did, and found it. And then while I was looking for that, while I was looking for the reel two of the Georges of New York, I found 3 or 4 more other Six American Families episodes. So I was like really pumped on that. So now I'm going to be looking for all of the episodes, and they were originally on film, you know. So hopefully somebody had the wherewithal to transfer all episodes from 16 millimeter to digital, and I can find them all. That's going to be cool. So I look for stuff like that like the day the universe changed, that 10 episode series. I had to find all 10 episodes. Like Nova. Nova's like thousands of episodes, right? So throughout like decades. And so I concentrated on the 70s and 80s, but even then, there's no way I can even find or use all of those episodes. So I have to find the obscure, weird stuff that doesn't have any copyrighted content inside of the video. Because it's not usually the video that I'm not allowed to play. It's some kind of content inside the video, a song or a piece of video or something. So it'll say, you can't play it. You can play it, but nobody can watch it. So I'm like, fuck. Man, now I gotta find something else. Oh man. So I try to collect things now in groups of 6, so I get like a month and a half worth of content. And then once I'm loading up that half a month, it's like, okay, now I need more. And then I have time to, I've got a couple of weeks of content to find more to finish off the month and finish off the next month. So I do about 4 to 6 weeks at a time worth of content. X-1, I've already got all of those episodes. Every once in a while I get one that's missing something, and I'll have to go out and find a good version of it. But for the most part, you know, I don't have to look for that. But searching out and finding a lot of content for a month, you know, that's 4 episodes of 5 different shows each, plus, you know, 2 other shows on 4 different days that I'm going to need. So it's a lot of stuff, plus all of the videos, 20 videos a week, or 10 videos a week, I'm sorry. So it's a lot of stuff, but it's so much fun, and I get to find stuff that just people are going to watch these things and go, did they really think like that? Which is the way I watch these things. I watch a lot of these videos and films, educational films, and I'm like, God, they were really teaching us this shit. They were really filling our head full of this fucking garbage. Nowadays we look back and we know that it was just, or at least most of us should know, that it was a lot of propaganda bullshit. You know, a lot of control issues, and a lot of supposition, right? They just figure, okay, well, this is the way, dinosaurs lived till here. Humans were born here. This happened there. And they just go with it, and then they teach it like it's doctrine. And then they come along a few years later and go, yeah, we weren't quite correct when we said that, that this happened. It probably happened like, what do you mean probably? Well, we've decided that we can't really say one way or the other 100% about anything anymore, because you never know. Yeah, you're right. That's why I don't take anything for freaking gospel anymore. I mean, because they're going to come along later and say, man, coffee's bad for you again. Just go to butter instead of margarine. And then they'll come and say, go to margarine instead of butter. So, same thing with science and history. They'll teach you one thing, and then they'll come along 10 years later and say, we had it wrong. And how do you know you had it wrong? If the way you suppose it is now is just theory. It's all just theory, right? So how do you know it is? But you're going to convince us that you know, because you're the ones that we go to for answers, right? I was just looking over for a, yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't believe anything now, because there's a good chance that whatever you believe in is bullshit. It's a pretty good chance. And there's an even better chance that it's bullshit because they're trying to sell you something, or some idea or ideal, or a product, or direction, or they want to put a label on you, Boy, it kind of makes your head hurt thinking about it so much, right? Yeah, what are we doing today? I don't even know what's going on today. It's only a couple of days away from driving to LA. So I have to start gearing up for that. At the same time, I need to put together elements for a video, which basically is going to be some photos, a good piece of music, probably YouTube music, because I can get something pumped up and something energetic, right? Something with a lot of changes in it that I can change my graphics to. The beat goes to and then bang, it changes, and I can change the graphic again, and then builds, and then it changes, and I can change the graphic again. So hopefully I can get a song like that. Something upbeat, exciting. And then create some really cool graphics to get people into it. Arrange the graphics to tell a story of what's going to happen. Early bird camping, early bird events, late leavers, that kind of stuff. Try to get as much information packed into a 3-minute, 5-minute video, right? Something that says you want to come, right? And it's all in presentation. Which means I have to, once again, in earnest, go after the musical acts that I want to be there and make a direct connection and say, hey, I really, really want you guys there. What can I do to get you there? How do we work this out? It's not just a passing whim. I contacted you because I'm serious, and I'm contacting you again because I'm serious. I know it's far away, but I believe in getting things done early, so that we've got time to deal with error and other things that arise. Dolly! Yeah. I'm getting a little worked up about it, getting a little excited, which is exactly what I need. I need to be pumped up about this all the time. Right now I can only get pumped up about a couple of days a month. And I need to have it be a part of my thinking more and more so that I can get more and more accomplished, you know. I need to create a calendar of events, and I need to work backwards from the actual event. What do I need to do the day before the event? Okay, in order to do that, what do I need to do before that day, and then before that week, and then before that month, and have all of these things, and then start at this end working that way, and try to get enough figured out so that every week I've got something to do that takes us in the right direction. So by the time we get to the week of the event, I'm not doing much but helping set stuff up and directing traffic, right? That's it. That should be it. You know, I'll bring all the tools and as many materials as I can, and as much help as I can, and then I'll have people there who will do the same, bring as much materials and tools and help as they can, and get it all planned, you know, get it all planned ahead of time so that when we get to those days, we'd have no worries. Everything is there. Everything arrives in time. You know, propane tanks and barbecues and grills and griddles and burners and everything, and pots and pans and coolers and everything. You know, the lawn, the artificial lawn that I want rolled out in front of the stage for the kids and the families and people to hang out on. You know, people are going to bring their canopies and set them around that. Have a kitchen at the other end of the stage at one end, a kitchen at the other, and bathrooms in four corners of the island, and a smoking beer garden off on the opposite end of wherever everybody's camping. You know, and if you can imagine that, then you can imagine the fun involved in being there with all of these things, and all that entails, right? Oh man, hi. You want to go outside now? You want to go outside? I got a lump in my lap. I got a lap lump. I guess you do want to go outside. Okay. Let me push my lap lump over. There you go. All right, Sam, it's your show. Stay here. Come on, Missy. You can even see you on the camera. Look at that. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. There you are, Sam. Hey. All right, bud. Scoot over. Scoot over. Come on. Come on. He's slick. He knows exactly what to do. Anytime I come to sit down, he just gets up, moves around to the front and the side. Yeah, it's a hell of a guy. He's a hell of a guy. That's my Sam. That's my Sammy. And he's the perfect buddy. It's kind of a bummer dogs won't be allowed there, but they cost extra for camping, and we're not going to have the facilities or the people or the place to deal with dogs, flat out. You know, if you're going to have a dog, you're camping somewhere else, or you have an Airbnb or a room or something somewhere so that your dog doesn't come to the event, right? And that's just the way it has to be, you know, for their safety before anything else. Because I have 4 dogs of my own, and I would want them to come, but there's going to be too much going on for dogs to be safe, right? We're going to worry about kids. Let's worry, if we're going to have anything there to worry about, let's worry about the kids and focus on kids. You know, we don't need something else to take our focus off of dealing with kids. And half of my main focus on entertaining people will be entertaining the young people. because there will be events starting in the late morning that will take us all through the late night that will involve kids. You know, all of the live music, the kids should be there during all of that. They should all have earplugs in, but they'll be there and they'll have their own spot in front of the stage. You know, my first concert that I went to was, I think it was in Pasadena or Woodland Hills or somewhere, and it was a street, a block party, right? They blocked off the neighborhood, and there was live music and food and stuff. That was the first real concert or the first music event that I went to as a kid. The first concert I went to was the Rolling Stones Festival in 1978, and that was an all-day thing, right? So we first took our daughter to free concerts and stuff, free concerts in the park, free concerts at casinos and stuff, where you could show up and watch live music. And we started taking her at an early age, 4 or 5 years old, and she can get up and dance around and move and enjoy it and know what's going on. So yeah, that's important. So yeah, if people are going to show up with their kids and grandkids, they should be able to know that they're going to not only be safe but have fun, and of course we're going to have twice as much fun watching them have fun, right? So it'll just be a fucking blast. It'll just be a blast, man. So yeah, I'll be sending out contact information to specific people real soon. Really, really soon. So, yeah. I get pumped up, and then all the excitement leads to a kind of euphoric feeling, which then, of course, leads to kind of a, man, I'm whooped. That took a lot out of me, to get that excited. Look at my leg is jumping now here. My leg is excited. Get pumped up. The combination of the coffee and the reunion. So I'm going to put together, I've got these books around me. I've got one that's a programming guide, and it holds the programs that I put in onto YouTube every week, right? It also has half of that book are the shows that I create for nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, and then I catalog those shows so that I can look back them and know that I'm not playing the same song every other show, because I don't remember stuff too well. So while I'm working out a show, I can go, I want to play that song. When did I play that last? I haven't played it in 5 shows. I'll write, I try to go at least a week without playing a song again. I've got over 200 songs now. It just means that I need to keep building up the amount of songs that I have. Here's a favorite, here's a new one, here's an oldie but a goodie, that kind of stuff. So I've got those books, that book, and then I've got books of radio shows that have every episode, every season of specific shows that I use on my channel, right? So at some point, one of these notebooks is going to become a reunion book, and it will be dedicated to all of the planning. I'll print out calendars for each week of each week leading up to the event, and then have a whole chapter on just what's happening during the event and planning and carrying out things. So yeah, it's a big deal. And I'm old school, and I'm OCD, and I love to make lists and charts and graphs and plans and pictures. And the fun thing now, of course, is making the video trailers, the video previews of what's to come. So I take all those ideas and then try to create elements that represent those ideas, and then figure out how to put those ideas into a story, into some kind of video that tells us what's happening. Are you nostalgic for the past? Do you miss the good old days? Do you miss Pepperidge Farms? You know, whatever. I want to, and show images of the past and give kind of a musical sojourn, right? And then with kind of old-timey type pictures and music, and then go into something hard and heavy and 80s, something with an 80s feel, and then use that to kind of drive people's excitement for the event. But do something, start the video off for a minute that kind of says, hey, remember the good old days, and then boom, let's get together and do this, right? Yeah. So I've got to capture some yearbook stuff. I've got to grab some photos and videos of the past, and pictures and videos of elements of our past, MTV stuff, like old pictures of different places around the area, events that happened during our time, and use those to stir people's imagination, and nostalgia. And then throw, hey, this is what's going to happen. Let's get together. Buy your tickets now. Donate now. Buy a T-shirt now. So, yeah, the weekly stuff, doing my creating videos, doing my 2 live shows, and doing work and stuff around the house and going out into the world during the week chews up a lot of my time. So I'm trying to use the week to free up my weekends. And right now I've freed up a lot of time. I've got a lot of video creation happening every day, in between all of the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm looking at this weekend is going to be creating a plan and a video and updating my event and post, and saying, okay, look, here's what I have to share with everyone to get people involved. Now, can you take this and find those 10 people to share it to, who then will share it with 10 more, and yada, 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 right? And let me start that chain, and then I'll just say, okay, look, you 6 people, you 3 people, 2 people, 1 people, go with it. And then I'll get a couple of people to help me with all that gathering of stuff ahead of time. So I think this weekend is going to be that video. While I don't have a lot of material to create the video, I think I'm going to have to create that content myself. Search for it, create it, draw it, doodle it if I have to, if I can't find satellite photos of the area that I want to hold it the way I want it to look, then I'm going to have to draw a map of, and I'll have to do that eventually. Probably take and trace over a map of what it's supposed to look like, and then draw out the event, right? Try to draw it out to scale so that people understand the magnitude of what's going to happen. Is it time for you to go? I think it's time to let him in a bedroom and bring Bessie in and take a leak. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm front. I'm here. I was gone, but now I have returned. Hi. Boy, that moving around stuff really takes a lot out of you. Yep. Yeah, this weekend, man, I really got to put that video together. This is it. This is the big one. Oh, man, got a dog situation. I guess so, huh? Just asked my wife, are you getting up? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, God, it's 8 o'clock. That's why. She usually will sleep in until after my show, unless she's got to get up early and leave. But yeah. All right. So, let's see, what did I get accomplished this morning? I pretty much got the video worked out. You know, old black and white, nostalgia, boom, color, let's do this. Let's have fun. Color and excitement, flashiness, really pumped up music stuff. So I'll work on that this weekend, and then hopefully premiere the video this next week sometime, and then do the post and you know, get people jazzed and make my contacts with people and say, hey, let's get the show on the road. So influential people to start the ball rolling, to start that chain, and a couple of musical acts that I want to get there and find out their angle on it. And I'm sure I'll get the standard, we don't plan that far out in advance routine. I'm sure that's what I'll get, trying to get something booked. Yeah, for that kind of event, we only do it, you know, 3 months out or whatever. Well, then put me on the waiting list for this date, because that's exactly what I need. Is I need to get somebody who's going to commit to being there, even though it's a year away. I need someone to commit to being, you know, having us on their waiting list. You know, that's enough to say, these are the people I'm going to have entertain us. These are the 3 acts, you know. And then have it said that, yeah, it's subject to change, right? You can't always get what you want. I hear the trash man, it's the trash man. Ooh, yeah, it's the trash man. Totally. Wow. Well, once again, it has come time for me to say adios. I got to get out of here and get my act together and get the ball friggin' rolling for the day. I got to get shit going. So be sure to tune in this evening for Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia, and you know, just come and hang out. Otherwise, everybody be sure to you know, be nice to each other, be kind, love, peace, stay weird. Later.